Hello, and welcome to the Lost Archives. My name's Owen, and I'm the Dungeon Master of this ragtag group of heroes and adventurers. Say hello, lovely people.
Hello!
Hello, lovely people!
Hello again.
You don't have to take it literally. What do you mean again? This is the first time we've done this.
Yeah, well, yes.
What are you talking about? Thank you for joining us
Deja vu.
as we run our lovely, delightful D&D campaign, the Tyranny of Dragons. Thank you for joining us. I know we had a session off last week. We had some sickos, but we've dosed them up on Codral, double dosed tonight so that they can join us. And we won't identify who the sickos were, but they're to my left and to my lower left, so that's who they are. But we should introduce them. So please, introduce yourselves, lovely players.
Hello, I'm Claire, and I got my book. I play Mira, the Dragonborn Sorcerer, who's a half silver dragon, half red dragon, and her whole deal is fire and ice, which she's hopefully going to do a bit of this session. Yeah.
Yep. And I'm Michael. I play Lockie Hobbs, the Warforged Artificer, whose whole deal is being a clockwork robot, and had some fun last session, casting spells, trying to stay alive. Basically.
Nice.
With a lot of armor. Yeah.
Or not, at the moment.
Oh no, I put it back on.
Oh, you put it back.
Yeah.
Alright, guys. I'm Jared, and I play the character of Jin. He is a level 6 Law Bard and a level 2 Hexblade Warlock. He has been doing some he's sort of on a stealth mission, or was on a stealth mission. I had sort of infiltrated into the camp, and I was actually able to lure one of the order to our side, sort of Marcus. So yeah, and then I've just sort of reconnected with the group, and through some more sort of talking, we've been able to make our way into the ziggurat. So I'll pass it over to Ellie.
Hello, I'm Ali. I'm playing Lyra the Moon Druid, who has been having a lot of fun with her bottle of endless water and is trying not to do too many shenanigans with it, but I think we're going to have to see what happens. But yeah, she's very happy to be in the jungle in her sort of native element, so to speak, and yeah, having a good time.
I'm Matt, and I'm playing Yervith once again, resident sneaky boy. And he is just having fun being part of the party and, yeah, seeing where the adventure takes him. Maybe he can get some answers to what he is looking for and maybe some revenge against these bad boys. So we'll see how we go.
Just want to pipe in quick. Yervith does the sort of the coward's way of hiding. He hides in the shadows while I hide in plain sight. So
yeah, I mean, that's,
just throwing some shade out there.
Is it the coward's thing to hide in the jungle, or is that just the smart thing to do?
No, not at all.
Okay, cool. There you go. That's the answer to that question. So we've touched a little bit on what happened last session, but I'll do a little bit of a recap for those who might have missed it. And I realized that I don't think I correctly updated the stream name when I switched across. I think it still says rerun, or has it been fixed up? Who knows? We'll find out later. Someone's asked, where in the world are we coming from tonight? We're always coming from Australia because the world is in lockdown and there's nowhere else we can come from. It's always Australia, mate. Plus, why would you want to be anywhere else? It's the best country on the planet. So, quick recap as we head into episode 48. Mira, Jin, Lockie, and Lyra are deep in the Noonian jungle after tracking a high-ranking member of the Order of the Dragon there. Having now been joined by Yervith, last surviving member of the Oxenfurt Historical Society expedition, the party have faced some of the dangers of the jungle in their quest to combat the threat posed by the Order of the Dragon, which looms larger each passing day. Tracking the path made by the Yuan-Ti, snake-like humanoids who inhabit these dangerous jungles, the group have arrived at an ancient city, crumbling and in ruins, with a large gold ziggurat at its center. However, this ruin is not abandoned. Members of the cult seem to be working with the Yuan-Ti, and these groups now occupy sections of the city. The party decided to try sneaky infiltration. While Jin disguised himself as an injured cult member and Lyra turned into a small bird to keep watch, the remainder of the party dashed through the city streets and successfully reached the ziggurat entrance without raising alarms. After convincing Callum, this friend of the cult person that Jin disguised himself as, after convincing him to abandon the cult and assist the party, Jin and Lyra guided the young man into the nearby jungle, where Lyra learnt some interesting information regarding the patterns on the wall of the large ziggurat, and the possibility of some writing in Druidic. A little bit of a teaser there. The party met and regrouped at the base of the ziggurat, and attempting to sneak on in, accidentally raised the alarm, and the guards were alerted to their presence. During the fight, one of the guards summoned a large salamander, and by one of the guards I mean one of the lovely people who was watching us live, who used their channel points to summon a monster. Summoned a large salamander just to add a bit of spice, a bit of heat to the battle. But our party have emerged victorious and have now stepped inside the Tomb of Diderus, this large golden ziggurat at the center of this abandoned ruined city. And we left off as you stepped through the main hall, closing the door, dragging one of the bodies with you. I think Jin had just disguised himself as one of the Yuan-Ti, convinced a number of other Yuan-Ti and cultists who had come towards the sound of the noise that they'd run off that way, points in a random direction, which the group have now gone off to go and investigate this investigating force, leaving you guys relatively out of harm's way for the moment. Now I'm going to switch across to some slightly more spoopy music, and I will bring us across to a map.
I was just looking at something, Owen, and
Yeah.
Did you mention that like, because I said like Lisbon went into the jungle,
Yes.
they ran off over there.
Yes.
Then I dragged out
One of the
dead
bodies.
corpse?
Yep.
My bad.
Yes.
Okay.
So you've got one corpse. I'll bring across the map. How about that? So you've got one corpse in the room with you, and one corpse. So one corpse in the room with you, one corpse outside. For those of you who are watching, I'll drag Yervith out really quickly just so you can see the corpse that's out there, and then Yervith, I'll bring you back in.
Well, it works out well because, like when I was out there as a guard, I was the only one out there, so
Yeah, exactly right.
it really shouldn't play around with them too much.
Probably not. So my question is, what would you guys like to do? All you can see in front of you is this long hallway made of stone. As you look, the roof is about 9 feet above you. It's actually quite a low ceiling compared to this massive entryway into the very center of the Tomb of Diderus as you first walked in. This initial corridor seems to be sort of much smaller and almost seems to be some sort of antechamber as you enter into the main section. But yeah, the first thing you notice as you step in is these intricate, beautifully designed carvings across the walls, these bas reliefs into the stone itself, spiraling patterns, very reminiscent of Celtic knotwork designs, which you will see on all of my drawings because I'm fucking obsessed with them. So if you watch the character art just to my top right there, it'll pop in at some point in the future. You'll see some Celtic knotwork, very reminiscent of that design, these sort of very angular but spiraling patterns as you step into the Tomb of Diderus.
Wow.
So yeah, what would you guys like to do?
Are we going to keep sneaking?
Yeah. Yervith just sort of like kind of crouches down a little bit and says we should
Crouch.
It's very Skyrim-esque. Yeah, we should act quietly. Those in the tomb may not know we're here yet, so we still have an advantage of surprise.
Can I have a look at these bas reliefs and see if there's like a sort of like a narrative through line or some sort of like logical procession?
Yeah, absolutely. That would be an investigation or let's say investigation or history check. I'm going to leave it up to you which one you want to do. I'll give you slightly different information depending on which one.
I might take a history check actually. See what that does for us. That's a 9.
Okay.
I don't know.
9. Did you want to use your flash of inspiration? Or your flash of genius, I should say, sorry.
Oh yeah, actually, yeah, good point.
I believe you had 1 left from last session. My memory serves me correctly. And it was 2 weeks ago, so if my memory does not serve me correctly, I'm sorry.
I have 2 more.
Hey,
4.
fantastic.
Yeah, I'll use 1, so that's plus 4. So that's 13.
13. That's a little bit better. So yeah, as you begin sort of looking across, sort of looking at these designs, trying to see if you recognize them or if there's any sense of understanding of what these patterns are. The patterns themselves seem to concentrate around certain sections. And as you have a bit of a look, Lockie, you can actually see that the area here, this sort of section here, it almost looks like these patterns are making out humanoid figures. Figures almost look, humanoid, these cowled figures hidden in the knotwork pattern. You sort of have to step back a little bit and blur your vision very slightly to make out these figures. But they seem to be leaning on staves, these sort of big hoods over. And there's a few bone designs and patterns as well across the floor. And one of the things that you realize as well, what languages do you speak, Lockie? I think you do actually speak this language.
Common, Draconic, and Giant.
Yeah, Draconic will do it. You actually can see along the floor, the knotwork is written in Draconic, and it makes out very faintly. Some secrets are not meant for mortals to know. Look away from the darkness in which such knowledge hides.
Okay.
Would you like me to paste that in the chat so that you can ponder it and puzzle it away?
Space.
Absolutely.
That would be lovely.
Be my pleasure.
Thank you, Owen.
It's got to be a nice DM. And then as you read that again, an ancient black dragon. No. You watch as Tiamat tears a rift in the floor.
Is it bad that I was working on like the puzzle of everything you said, but then as soon as you said "look away," the credit song, the title song from Series of Unfortunate Events got stuck in my head.
I don't think that's bad. I think that's very appropriate.
That's
If I could play that without copyright strikes, I would play it right now.
100%.
Yeah, so it says, some secrets are not meant for mortal minds to know. Look away from the darkness in which such knowledge hides. I'm assuming you relay that to the group, so the rest of you probably know this at this point too.
Also, I've pointed out that there's Draconic writing for my two friends that can read Draconic.
Indeed.
I think most of you can read Draconic, can't you? Because you
Yeah,
said,
I think
we're
everyone
playing Tyranny of Dragons. I wonder if I need to know Draconic. Yeah.
Draconic is the new common.
Yervith is going to cast his eyes across the ground, and so taking on Lockie's insight into the writing, I'm also going to be looking for any sorts of traps or pressure plates.
Can Lyra help with that? Because that's also what she was going to be doing.
Yeah.
Then that's going to be a survival check with advantage. Absolutely.
Oh, that's good times.
Advantage is always nice.
Hey.
Oh.
24. Not a bad
See, we
roll.
get
Not a
that
bad roll.
20.
13.
Oh, sick, nice.
24 and 13. Would you like me to take the 24? Would that be... Should
20,
we take 24?
yeah, the 24.
All right, we'll take the
Yes,
24.
please, sorry.
Okay, yeah, no, I was kidding. I was just being an idiot. Just thought it'd be funny to play with you a little bit. Yeah. No obvious traps. So immediately I'm guessing the things that you're looking for. After being in the jungle, you've had a bit more experience in the last couple of months with maybe some pitfall traps. That'd be sort of a way that you might have been catching food, maybe some snares and things like that. No spike traps.
Absolutely.
I probably say as like a member of the Expedition Society, you're literally part of the Oxenford Historical Society. Like you are an archaeologist expeditionary force who often scouts in temples before the archaeologists come in. So your job is to actually investigate traps in ancient temples. You probably would have had advantage regardless, actually. I'm just thinking that I probably should have given it to you regardless of Lyra's help. But you are very, very, very proficient and very practiced in finding traps. Nothing stands out to you immediately. However, as you read through the words and look at the cowled figures, these sort of bas reliefs of these almost wizard-looking figures, these robed figures leaning on staves, something about the shadows under the as you're moving around with your light and sort of looking through with your torch, the shadows that are being cast on the figures under the hood don't make any sense. Because as you move the light around, you would expect that it's only a very slight relief. You should be able to see the faces, but no matter where you move the torch, the faces are always shrouded in darkness. There's no way to make out the faces of these figures. That to you is probably ringing some level of alarm bell, I would say.
Okay. I sort of like quietly like call over the group and I just sort of point that out and I'm like, doesn't seem right. The light should be cast, should be changing the shadows, but no matter what I do, it just stays the same.
that to be the secrets that the writing was talking about, perhaps.
Perhaps, but perhaps it is also a precursor to more serious dangers or secrets that lie beyond, within. So I guess I'm going to make my way slowly across the room and get towards this next door. Also keeping an ear out for any sort of movements or noises that might be coming from this adjoining chamber, I guess.
Yeah. As you step to this point here, I'm just going to put you back a few steps. As you step to this point here in the midpoint of the room, there's this strange grinding of stone, and the bas-relief figures move. The staves move to the side, they stand up straighter, and you get the weird feeling that all the heads are turning to look towards you as you step to this point here.
I am going to look not at them. I'm just going to be like, oh!
Very manly noise, that one. Oh!
I just remember the draconic writing to not look at the darkness, so I'm like kind of averting my gaze a bit.
Yeah. So you sort of like you immediately just look dead ahead to the floor, not looking to either side, avoiding their gaze.
Yep.
Yeah, no problem at all. Can you make me a perception check, please, Matt?
Yeah, absolutely.
Or I should say Yervith, because Matt's not making a perception check. Yervith's making a perception check.
13 again.
13. Just at the edge of your vision, you can hear the sound of whispers. Nothing particular. You can't make out what they're saying, but this sensation that someone is whispering. This low, muttering sound just outside what you can hear.
I don't like this.
Neither do I. This needs some light. I'll cast dancing lights at the points of the shadows that Yervith pointed out.
The shadows do not move. As the light bulb, as the magical sphere of light moves in front of them, 100% you should be able to see the faces. Excuse me, the shadows don't change at all. Every other shadow does in the room, but the cowled faces don't change. The shadow stays in place.
I really don't like this. I'm going to pull an arrow out and just knock it in my bow. It's like the only thing that makes me feel like safe. I'm just like, where the ghosts at?
Are you going to call?
Goose.
No, piss off, ghosts.
Well,
that's it.
Yeah, but I will do that. I will knock an arrow in anticipation for something to go down.
Yeah.
I'm not enjoying this.
Are the shadows from the cowls, like, you know how like it's completely dark? Does it seem like it's a magical darkness, or does it seem like it's a hole?
I will say right
And
now,
it's
the
no
fact
face.
that Mira has created dancing lights, and there is like one of these dancing lights in front of each of the four figures, and you still can't see them, it's magical, 100% at this point. You don't even need to make a roll. This cannot be a natural phenomenon. The way that
I was making sure
Mira-
arrows weren't going to come out at us.
Oh
Well,
yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying that won't happen. I'm just saying that the darkness is magical.
Can I
Mira
put one
has-
of the dancing lights into it to see if it's like
Yeah.
it is hollow or is magical? Does the magic disappear?
So dancing lights, I think when it interacts with something solid, it just bounces off, right? Pretty confident that's what happens. It bounces off.
Okay. Well, there's something there.
Something solid. Ali's not happy. I can see her face.
I think it's a
Okay.
trap. Don't you agree?
I think you may be right. I might be able to try something. Just a moment. I'm just going to grind his gears and
Just grind some
get a
cracked
bunch of
pepper.
shavings and ignite them and use them and cast fairy fire. Shavings.
Okay. Yeah. Yervith, you're going to get everyone in the room with Verify, just so you know. Okay, cool.
No.
Everyone needs to make me some dexterity saving throws, please, including Lockie, because you're also in this zone of fairy fire, correct?
Yep.
Okay. What's your?
Can I choose not to affect? Wait.
Well, I think Ellie's looking up.
Yeah, I mean I can just drop it.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh,
it's
Yervith.
15.
15. Okay. So.
Just I'm lit up like a Christmas tree. Dude.
Yeah. Let's. Yervith's glowing, Lockie's glowing, and Lyra's glowing. Correct. And so no, Mira's not. Okay.
How long does fairy fire last for, guys?
As long as I want it, so I can drop it.
Oh,
I think
good.
it's an hour, like all up there.
If he's concentrating, yeah.
You
As
You drop
Lockie
concentration.
throws out these sparks that then move around and start attaching to every surface that they can, no invisible creatures are revealed. Just Lockie, Lyra, and Yervith start glowing as this coats them, whereas Jin and Mira are able to sort of duck and move out of the way.
Does it give us any outlines inside the darkness?
No, not at all. The darkness doesn't change at all. I don't think, because fairy fire coats objects, doesn't it? So the darkness stays in place. The fairy fire is invisible inside that shroud of darkness.
Okay. So what does... But the fairy fire coats anything which can't affect from being invisible.
Yep.
So does that mean that I'll be able to see the contours of the wall and anything underneath the darkness?
The darkness is blocking the light moving outside from the cowl.
It's just
So
a
you
void,
can't see.
right?
It's just darkness.
Yeah.
It's almost like the darkness is almost like a solid surface that's allowing no light to pass through.
Like Vanta Black.
Mm.
Do you know what? Yeah, that's the name of the episode. Like Vanta Black.
That is very worrying.
That's concerning. I don't like it.
So what size of area is the darkness in again, sorry? It's
Just the face. Just the
Just the
faces
face.
of these four figures. Yeah, just the cowl. So the in the relief, the hoods are up, and then the faces are just dark. There's just shadow. So when you first walked in, it didn't look unnatural, but now that you have made a conscious effort to create light sources and move light sources around, it's very clearly unnatural. Something's very wrong with these things.
Did the shrouded figures with the shadows in their cowls, did they like move all of a sudden, like look towards me when I moved to the middle
As
of the room?
you stepped into the room, because they were leaning on their staves hunched over, they stood up straight.
I know they
with
just
the
like
staves out, and then all were looking towards the center of the room where you are currently. And that's when you started to hear the whispering,
oh,
which is still going. You can still hear this like right on the edge of your vision, edge of your hearing.
yeah. Sweet. Yeah. No. I'm not. I sort of like nervously like glance at the rest of the party like, we keep going, or what are we doing about this, guys?
Well, shall I cover them? Lyra, we could do our old ice trick. Cover
I'm
the-
keen if you are. Just upends the thing, shapes water. Just
Drink
cover them.
water.
So you're just going
drop
to-
fairy fire as well.
So you're going to abuse water and just basically attach ice to each of the faces, correct?
Correct.
For the
Yeah,
purposes
the
of
tape
podcast
ice.
listeners, for the podcast listeners, Lyra pulls out a large decanter, uncorks it with and then just tips it upside down on the floor, creating a big puddle of water underneath each of the relief statues. She then shape waters the water up across the statues and over the faces, and then Mira freezes it solid. I'm guessing, correct? Yep. You now can't see the heads or faces. They're just behind a sheet of ice.
Is
Solved.
that better, Yervith?
I feel
We
moderately
still hear the
better.
whispering.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
you can still hear the whispering. But it has a very slight echo to it, as if it's coming from behind some ice.
Mira,
Yes.
would you be able to
Thanks.
keep adding sort of layers of water on top and sort of try and extrude the details of whatever's underneath it past the blackness, so that maybe able to get us a look?
I could
Oh,
certainly
that's
try.
cool.
That's like like one of those, those pin things. You put your hand in the pin
Yeah,
things.
yep. I normally
could-
put my face in the thing, so I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Yeah. I said,
Yeah, I mean, the way shape water works is that you move water up. If you were moving a specific amount each time, and Lyra was holding it against the wall, and then you were freezing it, and you just kept doing that, you would get an idea of what the features are underneath. Yes, you would, because
I
you would.
imagine, yeah.
Yeah, if you guys want to do
force
that,
it over, it's like a sheen across its face, and so I
Yeah.
can just freeze it like that.
especially if you're very specifically controlling the amount each time, you could do this. It's going to take a little bit of time, but this is possible.
Yeah.
How long are you willing to spend doing this? As long as it takes?
Just one.
Just one,
phase.
okay. Cool.
Yeah.
That does
I'm
make a
going
bit
to
of
drop
sense.
Purify as well, by the way.
Yeah, I've taken it off your tokens just to show that, to make life easy. Yeah, as you guys begin doing this, after a few coats of ice, the beginning of a nose begins to poke out from the shadow. And then after a while, after another few coats, you can see the cheeks, the chin coming through until finally the face emerges from behind the shadow. It looks like a humanoid face. Very sort of beautifully carved, masculine features. The hint of sort of pointed ears, almost a little bit elvish. But you can see scale patterns on the cheeks and the forehead. It's very light, scaly patterns.
Yep.
And the eyes appear to be closed, as if in sleep or contemplation.
Oh. Hey guys, just a thought. Based on these guys, there's a lot of imagery and talking about seeing and the lack thereof. I don't know how much the world's changed since, I've last done anything similar, but it's there are definitely creatures out there that you absolutely can't look at because then they'll just fuck you up. But I think we all need to be actively ready to either avert gaze, close eyes, come up with a way that we can navigate, maybe even without seeing, I don't know, back to back, walk backwards. I think we're going to encounter something to do with seeing.
Yep.
Yeah,
What?
I concur.
What Lyra said.
Yeah.
Any one of you guys got a rope handy?
I was going to say, does anyone have a mirror?
I can make a mirror.
You are a mirror.
You are a mirror.
Yeah, a mirror.
I have a mirror.
Yeah,
Ah.
Jin has a mirror, I'm pretty sure.
Hell
I actually
Yeah.
have a mirror because I got that from when I did a big shopping list.
Mirror,
I
mirror
think
on the
it
wall.
maybe just if we're going around corners,
Yeah.
maybe do a quick mirror
Yeah.
check.
Yeah.
Make
yeah,
sure there's
yeah.
nothing there, and then or scary dark. If maybe it just maybe goes without saying, but I'm just gonna say it anyway. If we see a giant magical scary darkness, let's not look at it to begin with.
Yeah, that's what I'm
That's-
getting.
Yes, that is
Make sure
sage
we're all on the
advice.
same page.
Yeah.
So I think we probably should keep going. I don't want to stay here much longer, and I don't know how long the guards are gonna take until they realize that we're here. So let's
I think.
move on.
Skedaddle.
Let's do this.
Fantastic. Yeah,
I'm
as
gonna
you
kind
move
of-
forward.
Yeah.
Yeah, as you move forward,
Steps.
Yervith, you reach the other side of the room where there is a large wooden door. As each of you step into the center, you begin hearing this whispering on the edge of your hearing. But it gets, as you move towards the door, it gets quieter and quieter, and by the time you've reached this door, you can't hear it anymore. It's just gone.
Yes.
How does the whispering sort of how does it sort of feel for me, considering that I'm currently in the disguise of a Yuan-Ti? Does that change anything?
No,
or
not at all. It sounds the same for
Okay.
all of you. It sounds like a voice speaking quite quickly, but not anxiously, calmly and quickly, as if there's a lot it's trying to say all at once, but you can't make out any of the words. It's not that it doesn't sound like. It sounds like whatever language you first learnt to speak. So for anyone who first learnt Common, it sounds like Common. If anyone first learnt Elvish or Draconic, whatever language you first learnt to speak, that's what it sounds like. But you can't make out what the words are, no matter how hard you strain and hear. You cannot hear any words. It's just, yeah.
That's interesting.
That's gonna really fucking wig Lyra out because she's hearing Corey for the first time in God knows
whoa.
how many years.
Yeah.
That would be weird.
Well, that's the thing is you're not sure. It sounds familiar, but you can't make out any of the words. So it's bizarre. It's a weird sensation where it feels like it's a familiar language, but you can't understand anything that's being said. It's either it's too quiet, and then when you strain and listen, you can't really make out what the words are. It's almost like the information scrambles as you hear it.
Wow.
Does it sound like it's repeating itself? Or is it just one
Oh.
long litany?
That's a very good question, Lockie. Would you like to make me I'm going to say intelligence check or perception check? Investigation or perception?
Got investigation.
Oh, caught that sneeze just in time. Sometimes I'm not quick enough on the mute button and I just go bah! Right into the microphone.
Oh yeah.
I did that on a Phasmophobia stream and apparently I caused one of the viewers to wet themselves, which I thought was quite good. I'm proud of that. Because it was really quiet and I was like, Harley and I were like creeping around the asylum.
Perfect, that's really
And then I just went
Damn.
BAM! This big old sneeze. What was your perception or investigation check, Lockie?
18.
That's it. Oh, there we go. Sorry,
18
I hadn't
investigation.
scrolled down. Yeah. Mine says 27.
Yeah, mine says 27 too.
Yeah.
Oh, that
Added.
was my dex. That's Jin's dex save, sorry.
Okay, 27.
Natural
20.
20 for
20,
27. Lockie, it is repeating. There are patterns repeating. It's about a 24 second repeating message, but it is repeating. Definitely.
Well, can't
Extra
make out what it says, but yes. That puts me in mind of some kind of chant or conjuration or something. Not sure. Obviously can't tell without the actual words, but there's something ritualistic about it, perhaps.
The fact that we also heard it in different... Well, I mean, I'm assuming it's, the language felt familiar, but... Does Lyra know that it sounded different for everyone? Like, did she sort of
Well,
maybe could she have brought up does that sound like Corey to anyone else?
And everyone goes, "What's Corey?"
what's Corey? sounded elvish to me.
Sounded almost giant, but not quite.
Draconic.
What? That doesn't seem right. Well, wait. Lockie, you said it was repeating, right?
Yes. The whatever is the message, the mantra every 20 or so seconds or so, it starts.
Yeah,
again.
this kind of like stroke his chin a little bit and contemplate this, and then he's just.
Yeah, but I
Perhaps.
would not think about it for too long. I would not listen to this.
Oh no! I mean, if we wanted to work it out, we obviously can't listen to it all at once, but
No, I
Mate.
think that might be a bit of a trap if we concentrate on it for too long. If it is really a chant or this knowledge is not for us.
yeah, I agree. I
I
don't
just
like it
worry
as
for your
much as you.
state of mind.
Oh yeah, no, that's
I'm-
thank you. That's awfully kind.
Unless you're immortal or anything. Are you immortal?
Are you immortal?
No, not at all.
Yes.
I mean, elves live a long time.
Insight check.
Insight check. Is he immortal?
I was Tiamat the whole time.
Hey, I mean, as she asked that question, you haven't died yet, Yervith, so maybe.
You haven't?
I mean, last survivor. I mean, what?
I mean, can you prove a negative?
What? Yeah, I just sort of shrugged, like, I don't think so, but then again,
22. You don't get the
Haven't
sense he's
died
immortal, Mira.
yeah. All right, well, I mean, I don't want to stay here any longer than we have to. I think we probably should go in this room, and I'm gonna test the door and see if it's locked or.
Draco dropped. Draco dropped.
The door is not locked. As you reach forward and test the handle, it's just this large wooden double door. It doesn't appear to be locked.
I'm gonna put my ear up to the door and see if I can hear anything in the next room.
You're going to
guys are-
listen at the door.
You guys are so
gonna listen.
nervous.
I'm gonna listen through to see if I can hear anything in the
Yeah.
other room.
Give me a perception
I'm
check.
not listening.
I wonder why.
Come on, guys. Yeah, I'll have a perception check, please, Yervith. Not that there's anything you need to worry about.
Nah,
Oh,
it's just it's a spooky temple.
17. You do hear something. It sounds like the clinking of pottery or tiles almost. This sort of strange chink, and then the sound of something grinding, like stone on stone, just for a second, and very, very faint, and then it stops.
Sounds like some sort of footstep or mechanism, something stone on stone grinding.
And then you hear it again. Chink. It's grind. Then silence.
Just heard it again. Don't know what it is. Guess
Is it happening at that same time frame as the message
And now
recording?
you hear it again. No, it seems to be a bit quicker.
Oh. Does it sound like it's getting louder and
And
closer?
again. No, same volume. It's chink and then a grind. Chink, grind. Every 9-10 seconds
Mira?
or so.
Under the door?
Mira, if you can do that.
No.
Go
You
ahead.
put the mirror under the door.
Put the mirror under the
Yeah,
door.
Mira is just gonna slither under the door.
I've got enlarge reduce, but I think there's better uses for it.
Sure.
Just because I have scales doesn't mean I'm a snake.
I'm gonna dislocate every bone in my body and then I'm gonna squidge myself under the door. Here we go, everybody. Yeah.
That's horrifying.
The wooden door is pretty flush with the stone. There's not too much of a gap.
Okay.
There is a little bit of a gap. You could probably try and slide the mirror under, but it's going to be very hard to see the mirror.
And then it could risk damaging the mirror and scratching it, and
I'm just
probably not worth it.
just does the door push inward or does it
Yes, it
come
does. Yeah,
outward?
it pushes away from you.
I'm gonna everyone just go behind, get close to the walls or the door. I'll like kind of like stand off to.
I love how cautious you guys are. You're just so.
I'm just.
We're going to spend the entire time in this hallway between two doors.
I'm gonna yeah. I mean, I'm gonna get to next to the door, and I'm just gonna like sort of push it, sort of gently open. Yeah.
Yeah. As you look into the next room, you can see it's quite a high vaulted dome with a deep inset ledge circling the room, about 10 feet sort of wide, 15 feet up, just around the edge of the room. The floor is set with a beautiful tile mosaic showing a knight in plate armor wielding a glowing sword against a vicious chimera. And you can also see, I think, can you see that from here? No, you can't see that from here.
Probably.
That's
not
what you
right
see.
now.
That's what you see.
All right.
So the knight is located about here. Chimera, you can just sort of see its head just behind the shadow.
Cool. I will. So as the door is open, I will now kind of like take a peek around the corner and see if I can.
So as I
get a
see
better
that
look.
Yervith is about to do that, I'll tap him on the shoulder and go, this might be more stealthy. And I hand him the mirror so he can actually look around the corner.
Without
using
moving.
The mirror and see
Nice.
his own head.
Because it was great because you guys were talking about how, we'll get this mirror and then we'll do this. And then you immediately, I was like, I'm just going to
Totally
peek
forgot
around
about
the
it.
corner, please. If I could just.
Yeah. I'm not.
I love it.
The other's like, oh yes, right,
Yes.
mirror, of course. And
I'll chuck you there, but we know for purposes that you are actually still in position. But because I can't simulate a mirror using Roll20, I'll just put you there.
Fair enough.
Yeah, so you can now see there are a couple of different pathways out of this room. It looks like there is a pathway to the north, and written on the floor in chalk is the word "safe," capital letters in common. This pathway straight ahead of you, these large double doors directly in front of you. There's not a huge amount that you can really see in that area as you sort of look upon it and try and focus. There's not much you can see there, but they are plated in copper, engraved quite sort of beautifully, that has now gone that verdigris green color. And you can see it looks like a group of wizards peering into a large pool of water. And at the very top of the image is a large male figure, this massive figure with this long beard, raising his hands as if he's summoning something from the pool. You can also see that the doors seem to be bulging out a little bit. The copper's being bent and twisted. It looks like there's some force pushing them from the other side.
Oh.
Oh.
Okay. But for the most part, the room looks relatively clear, right? Like
The room in here is perfect. There's no sign of any damage. The mosaic on the floor is absolutely pristine.
All right. Well, with that information, I will move into the room, knowing that I think we're pretty good. Just take a step through the door.
Yeah, as you step into the
As I see
door.
him go through, I'm gonna hit him first.
Yeah, as you step into the room, you hear that chink and grinding noise again coming from the floor in front of you. Can you make me a quick perception check, please? Because you were alerted to this noise before. Just want to see how much of it you see. Is that 17 from the previous one? No, 18.
Yeah.
Yeah, 18 was the 17 was the previous. 18 is this one. You see the tile, the mosaic tile chimera turns and looks at you. This floor mosaic pattern turns and looks at you, and then reaches up. And you watch as from the floor, this large claw breaks through, made of tiles and mosaic and stained glass, and grabs onto the edge of the floor, followed by another claw pushing through the earth as a chimera made of stained glass, tiles, and pottery pulls itself out of the floor into the middle of the room. And I'm going to need a initiative roll from everybody.
What? Okay.
Yes.
Cool. That's sick.
Yeah. Just a fun little...
I knew things were too good to be true.
Yeah, exactly.
Work
Oh,
done.
man.
Hey, you didn't get surprised by it. You didn't just walk into the room. So
Actually,
that
we
could
did
have
get
been
surprised. So could I have tell me if this is a possible thing? As it start like pulling itself up and out of the floor, could I have taken Yervith and sort of like swapped positions with him?
Oh, that's a good question. I will allow it. As you sort of see Yervith gasp, and you see this creature pulling itself out of the floor, you pull him aside and push him behind you. Yeah, I think that's possible.
I'll wrap around, come down with my shield, so it's up and ready.
Yep, sounds good.
I like the sound of that.
Hey, quick question: Did Lockie drop the fairy fire?
Yes,
Yeah,
he did. Yeah.
He did.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's good.
So I'm not
I
just
took
standing
it,
there glowing. Like, hey,
Glowing.
Taking
I'm
disadvantage.
stealthy.
Oh, I rolled well for the animated tile chimera, 19.
Oh, fuck.
So everyone's initiative is correct. Just double check it. 21, 19, 13,
Yep.
11, 10, 5. Perfect. Fantastic.
I love how I have a +7 to my initiative and I still have
11.
a 9. That's
Good. Oh, dearie me. Oh, yeah, yours is 9, not 11. Sorry. I will fix yours up. There you go.
the rolls are not in my favor tonight, but guys.
So, Jin, you're up first. You hear this sort of gasp. You can't quite see what the cause of this is, but you see Lockie basically grab Yervith by the shoulders and throw him behind him. Like, he just grabs Yervith and chucks him back into the room.
Cool. That can't be good. I would have heard the sound of the chimera though. Like
You hear it doesn't make any noise apart from this like grinding of stone, but as it pulls itself free, you can hear this chinking of pottery, the sound of glass on glass, tile on tile, and then this scraping noise as the tiles scrape against each other as it pulls its body out of the floor. This very loud, unpleasant noise, like fingernails down a blackboard. Let me grab my blackboard like this. No.
I'm going to. Is this a double door?
It is a large double door.
I'm going to stand here and I'm going to sort of try and peer into the room as well.
Yeah, you see a large chimera made of tiles, stained glass, and pottery, roaring silently towards you. As it opens its mouth, no sound comes out. It's
No
weird
sound?
because there's almost like a two-dimensional aspect to this. As you look at it, it's in 3 dimensions, but there's still this strange perspective, as if its face is actually on the side of its head, as if it is still this relief figure that's pulled itself out. So it does look a bit odd. There's a very weird feeling as it's like Paper Mario style 3D.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that's what it reminds me of.
Yeah.
As
So there's this
I-
sensation of weird forced perspective as you look at it.
As I look further into the room,
Yeah.
is there anything else of note? Like there's a knight, you said?
There's a knight in shining armor wielding a glowing sword in the same style of stained glass as the chimera, but it's still just a stained glass and tile pattern on the floor. It's just a mosaic on the floor. There's a
Right.
door to the north where you can see that someone has written the word "safe" in chalk on the floor just in front of it, and then the copper doors directly ahead of you, which are bowing in as if they've been hit by something very heavy behind.
So these have been hit by something heavy.
Possibly, yeah. They're
From
bowing
our side or
inwards
the other side.
from the other side.
Oh, okay, right. Oh, okay. Yep, cool. We've got two options here. We can either fight it or run past it into this room. The thing is, how do we know if that door is even locked or not?
You
To do
can
it safe-
certainly try. Remember, it's got 3 heads.
Press
I'm gonna
X
do
to
a
doubt.
safe
Nice, man.
Sort of, I'm going to cast in the middle of the room.
Yep.
While not drawing Lockie into it, I'm going to cast a fairy fire.
Yeah.
I'll
make a dex save,
Peer into
yeah.
the room, and I sort of look around the room. I'll see this big chimera just lurching forward. I'll
17,
cast
sorry.
fairy fire. Yeah, that doesn't.
Sorry.
Yeah.
The glass, the
Does it
stained
catch
glass
anything else though?
reflects. A good question. No, there's nothing invisible in the room. You'll be pleased to know.
Oh, but is there anything
Very
else that needs
specific
to?
wording, Owen.
Is there,
Why-
so
why
there's
have
no
you
other
written-
creatures also in the area that need to do a check?
No, not within that room. You'll be pleased to know.
Okay.
But
That's
yeah,
not-
the
that's not
stained glass, actually reflects this fairy fire and prevents it from sticking. It just slides off this this tile, almost as if the fairy fire has trouble distinguishing this as a living creature. And that's how I'm explaining it passes the check.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah. So after doing that movement, that motion, I'll sort of come back in here and hide behind this bit. I'm going to. So I've done my action. I'm just sort of going to be looking more at this door. So while I know that what this is going on in here, I'm going to keep an eye on this door just in case anything comes up from behind us as well, because we left some patrols back there.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think that's what I'll do with my turn for now.
Fantastic. Next up in the initiative order is the animated tile chimera.
Oh no.
It lowers its head and charges forwards, I think is what it's going to do. 5, 10,
Oh my.
15,
It
20.
doesn't go back in the ground.
No, it doesn't.
like floor should. Yeah.
Crazy.
No?
And it doesn't
Okay.
pull itself to pieces either. You'd be unbelievably. It doesn't tear itself apart. But what it does do as it gets to this point, as it looks down the corridor towards you, you can see that there are 3 heads: a goat, a dragon, and a snake head. The dragon head, because that's what a chimera looks like. Do you want me to quickly paste a picture of a chimera? Would that be helpful? So the chat, so you can see what they look like. I think I can do that from D&D. Yes, I can. Sorry, a lion, a goat, and a dragon head. The snake is the tail, I believe. Or am I getting confused with
Hey.
another?
No, the snake is the snake tail. Yeah, the snake head is the tail, and then the
Yep.
lion is the lion's head, and then it's got like a weird goat head as well.
There we
off to
go.
the side,
Yeah, just like that.
From memory.
Except made of stained glass windows. The dragon head opens its mouth and breathes a gout of fire down the corridor. I'm going to need so this is going to be, so it's a 15-foot cone. I'm going to say Jin and Lyra are protected. Mira, you have advantage on this roll, but Lockie and Yervith, I'm going to need you to roll me dexterity saving throws, please, as this gout of fire just pushes down in this large cone.
Did you
But
say
yeah,
fire?
Jin, fire.
Good.
Yeah, but Lyra and Jin, from where you are and the way this hallway is positioned, you are protected. The doors in their positioning. Oh, Lockie.
Just a sec. Wait.
Mira, did you roll 3 times?
No, just twice.
I only. Oh wait, no, I do see 3.
I can see
Oh.
19, 21, and
I only
7.
see 21. Oh, I can't see the 19. I can only see the 21.
It's
and
between
7.
Yervith and Lockie's.
Oh,
I'm gonna use my
That's
my
okay.
final flash of genius and cower behind my shield for a 12.
Yes, 12.
Ooh.
Okay. Yervith, 18. You're going to pass.
As a reaction, I'm just going to cast absorb elements on myself. So as the,
Oh, very
Ooh,
nice.
nice
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
Very nice.
I'd use some spell.
I love absorb
Yeah.
elements. One of my
love
favorite
that.
spells.
So
So I'm
good.
pleased you took that. This is good news because this has the potential to be a lot of damage. If you had failed, what was yours, Lockie? 12.
12.
I'm sorry. You take 37 points of fire damage.
Damn.
Sorry.
Damn.
I'm sorry.
It's okay,
Halved.
it's okay.
I'm sorry. Halved to 18 for those who passed. Mira, you take half again, don't you? Because you're... Yep, so you only take 9. Yervith, absorb elements, you absorb, I think, half of that, and then you get it... Or is it... Absorb elements? I can't
So
remember.
how absorb elements works is I'll take the damage, but when it attacks me again, I'll have resistance to it.
Nice. Are you sure you take the damage?
No, wait, it's the other way
Lessening
around.
the effect on you. Yeah, you have resistance, so
So-
you take it...
Oh.
You take half again, so you only take 9 damage, same as Mira.
And then,
Amazing.
And then the next time you
and
hit,
then
you get
when
an
you do
extra
your next
d6 of the...
Yeah.
But it's only with melee attacks, right?
Yes, melee attack. As your sword begins glittering with fire.
Hey. Very cool.
Alright. Lockie is glowing.
Lockie's glowing red hot. Some of the surface decal has melted a bit and warped, and like some of these intricate patterns on Lockie are now like a little bit like rubbery and not quite in shape anymore.
Oh, my tempering is gone.
Tempering, yeah, that's it. Yeah. He's like a bar of chocolate. It's going to use... So that's only one attack. It actually gets another attack. I'm so sorry. So it can use the breastplate in place of its bite or horns. It makes 3 attacks, 1 with its bite, 1 with its horns, 1 with its claws. It's still going to do the bite and the claw attack. I'm so sorry, Lockie, as it moves
No.
up.
Oh, damn.
Bring it.
Bite and claws. So sorry.
At least it didn't get a surprise.
I've got some good
round.
news. Neither of them hit you.
That going across, which is nice.
11 and
That's
15
really
don't
good.
hit you, so neither of those attacks hit you. So you're
Have a
sweet.
shield.
Yeah.
Easy.
Pays to be cautious.
Yeah.
ladies and gentlemen.
That is its full turn. Mira, it is your go. You see this like section of tiles blast fire and then begin just wailing on Lockie as the claws made of this tile and glass shatter against Lockie and are unable to cause any damage to him. But the
Is
floor
it actual
underneath it.
fire, or is
Yes.
it like cartoon paper, like 2D paper fire?
2D fire.
Oh,
Much of the
yeah.
fight.
Actually, I might change that. It's it's like 2-dimensional fire. So it's like these. It's like stop motion fire. It's stop motion fire.
Yeah.
It's like it goes dun 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 across the room towards you. Yeah, I like it. That's good.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Well,
Yeah, Mira.
in that case, as the claw of this thing comes down on Lockie, you see a fray of frost just kind of splashed against it into these ice crystals.
Get some
Now,
frost in the fray.
Frost in the fray.
Fray of frost.
So that's a attack of
15. That is just enough to hit.
ooh, excellent, and it should come up with the damage for that
12
one.
cold damage.
12 cold damage, and he has 10 feet less movement.
Okay. Next turn.
Then, as a twin spell, I'm like, you can play at that game. And Mira just blasts him with a frost breath, because she's actually a frost dragon. So she's using a breath weapon. Make a dexterity saving throw.
So you're twinning spell, or you're quicken spelling the Ray of Frost as a bonus action, and then action.
Quick spelling Ray of Frost as a bonus action, sorry,
Perfect.
and
That's all good.
I'll get into a range so that I'm not getting my
Yeah.
friends.
Yeah, I'd say with warning, Lockie ducks to the side, and then immediately his armor cools as this Ray of Frost, this
The,
frost breath shoots past.
The first,
Oh, thank you.
the first Ray of Frost was the warning for Lockie.
Yeah. I better make a dex save, I believe. Hey,
Yes, DC 13 is not very high.
I rolled a 3, so
There you go.
I'm taking some damage from that. Would you like to roll me some damage? Ooh, 13's not too bad. Not too bad.
Solid.
And
Yeah.
then I'll duck back behind here.
Yeah. 25 damage in a single turn is nothing to be sneezed at. That's very nice. Lyra.
Frosty.
Stay frosty. Lyra, you're up next.
Alright, I have a technical question about your creature's construction.
I bet you do.
mentioned that it's stained glass.
Yes.
Which means stained glass is held together with either a tinfoil kame or a lead metal kame. So my question is, Can Lyra cast heat metal on the metal parts of your stained glass creature?
Hung by
Yes.
my own petard. I added in the purposes of flavor.
Amazing.
It's merely described as an animated tile chimera. For the purposes of flavor, I wanted to make it look jazzier. I described some extra things about it. You have now used that against me. There will be consequences for this, but I will say...
The only reason I know this is because I know how stained glass is construction. So I'm just taking it as
no, you're right. No,
experience.
and you're right. And I actually know how it works well because the surgeon I used to work for in his spare time did lead lighting and stained glassing in a shed out of the back of his house. So I know how it works, and you're absolutely correct. There's no other way to do it. Yes, you can heat metal this thing. Well done. Yep.
Amazing.
No,
Serves me right for trying to describe things for the podcast listeners. I won't make that mistake again.
Sorry, podcast listeners.
Well, thank you. podcast
Okay.
listeners.
So in which case, Lyra is going to take a step out so that she's within, sight and range of the animated tile stained glass chimera.
Yeah.
And then she's going to drop a 3rd level heat metal on him.
Yep. So it's going to be the same as if it's wearing armor because it can't remove it.
Yeah.
So it's just going to take the damage, I believe.
Awesome.
I don't think it takes it immediately, does it? It's on its turn. Let me double check. Sorry, I don't know what the fuck that was. Any creature within the physical contact takes 2d8 fire damage when you cast the spell. No, it does take the damage when you cast the spell. Yep, so it's touching it, so it takes 2d8
It also
fire
has
damage.
disadvantage
16.
now on attack rolls and ability checks until the start of my next turn.
Oh, yeah. And you can use a bonus action to cause this damage again. Yeah, it's got disadvantage attack rolls and ability checks. Really, really nicely done. Oh, fucking hell. Between abuse water and abuse metal. Alrighty.
Abuse
anything else?
elements. Welcome
Anything
to
else on?
Lyra.
Anything else on your turn, Lyra? You cause me enough
She's
pain, or
going to take. She's gonna take another step
Yeah.
out to try and be out of breath weapon range.
absolutely?
And,
Probably there's the best place then, just behind the door. Yeah, absolutely. You can do
Cool.
that. I hate that you've done that, but you can do it. Yervith, you'll go.
Amazing. Yervith is going to look down at his short sword, which is glowing reddy yellow, ominously, and he's going to bring it out, which he hasn't actually brought out his short sword before.
Yeah.
He's usually pretty fond of his bow, but he's thinking hey, I got a cool looking sword all of a sudden, and he's going to run on in, and he's going to start wailing on this 2D monstrosity.
Yeah.
So he's going to attack with his short sword.
I kind of imagine the way the absorb elements works is as this breath weapon comes towards you, Yervith, you panic and hold your hand up, and the spell sort of activates at that point,
Yeah.
pulling the heat into your hand. And then as you sort of instinctively go to draw your sword, as you touch the hilt of the sword, the flames leap.
transfers.
Yeah, down the
Yeah.
metal. 20 hits,
Absolutely.
absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
Roll me a damage,
I
and then you
will.
get to roll an extra d6 of fire damage as well.
And I'll give you sneak attack damage as well.
Yes, because Lockie is within 5 feet. And it had no idea that you were going to do this attack with flaming sword.
Yeah.
7. And then do you want to roll me an extra d6 fire damage? 3?
Yeah,
I know
yeah,
that's
yeah,
sneak attack,
yeah.
sorry, yeah. So 10. Oh, dearie me.
And that's 4 fire damage.
4 fire damage. Nice. 14. Not bad at
he'll
all.
Attack again because he gets
Extra attack, he does
another
indeed.
attack. That's going to be a 25.
Oh, it's close. It does just hit, though.
Nice. For
She's close.
for
10 damage. Max damage.
And
Nice.
then I'm going to get the Dread Ambusher damage as well. So amazing. I'll make 1 additional attack with the short sword.
I kind of like this idea of 16 hits. As the sword glows red hot, Yervith is like, oh fuck, this thing's hot, and he's like wiggling it basically to cool it down.
I'm not used to using my short sword like this. I'm very used to shooting things. So
Yeah.
I'm out of practice a bit, and I'm just ah!
Yeah.
hacking at this thing.
Bads! As he's just wailing away at this thing, yeah. Trying to cool it
Yeah,
down
yeah,
on
yeah.
the air as he's just Yeah, 16 hits, roll me some damage. Very
Oh,
nice.
another
Oh,
10.
another 10. Jesus
Oh.
Christ.
My God.
And then the extra D8 from the
yeah.
Dread Ambusher.
Dread Ambusher.
Just a 1.
1. Hey, but no. This is really cool. So for those of you who've seen inside the room, you'll remember that the figure of the knight in shining armor holding aloft this glowing sword. Something about the way Yervith rushes in as he begins tearing away at this thing, holding aloft this flaming sword. There's this image in your minds that this is a prophecy. This was Yervith. This was meant to happen. As Yervith begins just cutting through this thing, the combination of the cold to make it a bit more brittle, followed by the blast of heat metal cracking, changing the temperature very rapidly on this thing, and then Yervith just coming in and just wailing away with the sword. You are cracking bits off this. It is looking very hurt. The combination of cold, then heat, and now bludgeoning damage, well, slashing damage, but bludgeoning for the purpose of this. Yeah, like you've done a bit of extra damage. I've actually rolled some extra damage for you because of that combination of the freezing cold followed by the burning heat of heat metal followed by you wailing on it. It just physics made sense to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's this moment where like anyone who's seen this talk is like, oh shit, maybe that's Yervith.
In plate armor. Yeah, absolutely.
In plate armor.
Yeah.
I'm guessing that's it for your turn, my good friend Yervith.
Bonus action and get the hell out of there.
Yes,
I'm just
bonus
like,
action
I do these big attacks and then I'm just like, bye, and I just fall.
There's like as you bring the sword down for like this fourth thing, it just goes tink and doesn't do anything. You look at the sword and the flames have all gone, and you're just like,
yeah,
shit, as you begin running away rapidly.
Yeah, it's exactly like that. I get
Feel free to
+10
yeet yourself where you want to be.
So I'm gonna move like 45 feet back this way.
Yervith just sprints off down the corridor. Yervith, as you pass through under the masks, that whispering starts up again.
Oh, that's cool. I'm dealing with bigger things.
Oh no, sorry, Lockie. It was Lockie first. Sorry, Lockie.
That's all right. So he, out of somewhere on him, he pulls a cog, and inside that cog is another cog, and inside that cog is another cog. And if you took the time to look at it, it just keeps going down. And he flicks the middle one and sets them spinning. So there's like inside, and it's sort of creating like this wobbling effect. And he's going to stick that to the creature and cast Shatter.
Oh, sick.
Ooh.
That's cool.
Okay.
That's cool.
Lockie. I believe it's a con save if it's a creature, correct?
Oh, man.
It's a con save, and if it's inorganic material, it does disadvantage.
What was it? So it does double damage? Oh, so it got disadvantage. Yeah. I was going to say, I was pretty confident it was disadvantage. You lucky piece of shit. My first roll, 16. My second roll, 11.
Wow.
Wow.
All right.
That's
You
so
better roll me
good.
some damage. I believe it is actually, yeah.
Yep, 3d8.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. 3 for 13.
13 damage. Okay. Yeah, as you basically like attach this little whirring, jiggling box of gears onto the side of the Chimera, and it activates, a whole section of it is blown off and just shattered, tiles skittering across the floor into the inside of the room as you blast a hole in it. Anything else on your turn, Lockie?
Yep, bonus action. He is going to wind up and give himself his temporary hit points.
Yep.
And then hold position.
Fantastic. Which brings us back to Jin, who's currently disguised as a lizard folk. Jin.
Yuan-Ti.
Yuan-Ti, sorry, Yuan-Ti, yep.
Is this thing held together by magic?
I'm gonna give you a free one. It's a collection of tiles, sections of stained glass and water that's moving about on its own. It's definitely held together by magic.
How hurt does it look at the moment?
Really hurt. The whole section's been blasted out of it. There's sections of metal glowing white hot. Frost is still curling around parts of it. And there's these massive gashes where Yervith just went apeshit on this thing with his short sword.
I just realized if I had rolled well at the if I had done this differently my first turn, I could have just dispelled magic this and it's just gone.
Maybe. Maybe.
I could've
Assuming you
done
can get
that.
it high enough.
Maybe. You don't
It
know.
depends. It's 2 hurt though, so no use doing a 3rd level spell now. One quick question, because it's glowing
Yeah.
white hot now.
Yeah.
Anything that it's in contact with, does that actually take more damage?
From the heat metal, it has disadvantage on the. So
No,
if
I
it's
mean,
touching. So if someone's touching the section that's white hot when Lyra chooses to cast that damage again, then both groups would take damage.
Right, that's how.
If it's not touching it when Lyra does that, if it's just touching it and then lets go before Lyra does that, it just it doesn't have any effect, I don't think, because it's only if it's touching, holding or wearing the object and takes damage from it. So no.
Okay.
It
cool.
has no effect. It's only if it, for example, picked Lockie up in its teeth and then Lyra cast the heat metal again, then Lockie would also take that damage.
I'm gonna
Not that
keep
I'm
it
saying it's going
simple
to
though,
try and do
because-
that.
That's a bit specific.
Was it specific? Was that too specific?
Ooh, specific. Yeah.
I'll keep it simple anyway because it's nearly gone.
Eldritch
I'm just gonna
Blast.
peel out.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just cast Eldritch Blast for now.
Yeah.
So I'm
Yeah,
gonna sort of
yeah.
peel out from the corner. I'm gonna start sort of forming these like sort of Eldritch green energy in my hands as I start just flinging balls of this like Eldritch green energy at it. So let's do some Eldritch Blasts.
Let's see those
Hell
Eldritch
yeah.
Blast. 24's going to hit. 6 damage.
Nice.
Yep.
So 6 force damage. I don't have Hex or anything up. I'm not going to use those spell slots.
Nah, there's no point. And your second beam, 16
hits
hits.
as
Yep.
well.
Yep, it does.
Ooh, so 9 force.
damage. You blast off one of its back legs.
I'm going to use my last bardic inspiration on Lockie there to give him a hand with anything that might pop up.
Hey, thank you.
And that's the end of your turn, Jin.
So as I sort of run past, I'll sort of clasp him on the sort of his armor or shoulder guard or whatever it is, or a cog, and I'll pump some energy into him as I run past.
Yeah,
Maybe like
absolutely.
a reassuring, like you got this sort of thing as I run past.
I like it. That's lovely. The tile chimera is so hurt. There's only really one thing it can do, and that's to wail on Lockie. Unless, because it can't push past because the hallway's too narrow and it can't fit through these doors, which means it can only reach Lockie. Sorry, Lockie. The others have abandoned you to this.
It is
That's
assuming
fine.
it can hit Lockie.
That's true.
Yeah, that's true.
Thank you, thank you.
Well, let's see. It's got disadvantage on every attack because of the heat
Yep.
metal.
Yeah.
The first one, so for the horns, the highest I got was a 16, so that does nothing. The second was a bite. The highest I got was 24.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Oh,
11 piercing damage. The second one, the highest I got was a 10.
Not on the third one, but I'm also going to spend my reaction to, with the hit that got through the 22.
Yep.
I spend my
24.
reaction to punt him with the shield and yeet him back 15 feet.
Nice. So you're gonna use your reaction to like
Whoa.
push him back using what's the reaction called again? I think it's
It is.
Can't remember what it's called.
Infusion.
It's infusion. It's the shield. Repulsion
right.
shield.
repulsion shield. Thank you.
Hit
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
in one charge and yeet him 15 feet away from me.
Hell yeah.
5, 10, 15. It's yeeted back. And sorry, I should have specified it's 11 piercing damage from that
11
bite.
piercing damage.
Yeah, from
That
the
will
bite.
go through, but 8 of it is taken by my temporary hit points, so that's okay.
That's okay.
Amazing.
It's still got its movement.
It's got 10 feet less of movement.
Yeah, I'm just remembering what. It's so hurt.
Is it gonna go back in the ground where it belongs?
That's what I was thinking, but it doesn't actually have the intelligence to do that. So no, it's got two clear instructions. Its intelligence isn't enough to allow it to do that. It just runs up towards Lockie again, except it can't get to Lockie, it can only get to there. So it's still 5 feet away. As it sort of goes to get back, one leg has been blasted off by Jin's second Eldritch Blast. So it's just crawling along the ground, shedding scales made of tile as it tries to get back to you. Mira, it's your turn. As you see this thing pathetically trying to crawl its way back.
I can't say I've ever looked at the floor and gone, "Oh, gee, I wonder how smart the floor is." You know, I don't imagine it being super smart.
You've got a feeling that the level of intelligence for the floor does not have a high ceiling.
Yeah. Damn.
Take psychic damage, Claire. Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that Mira will just pity the floor.
Pity the floor.
And,
I like to spend my turn pitying the floor.
I'll spend my
Pity the
turn
floor.
pitying the floor.
I pity
but I will
Pierce.
buff with ice.
Yeah, nice.
Icy blast. Ray of frost. Boop.
14. Not enough.
That doesn't hit.
Doesn't hit.
No.
Oh, no, you don't have advantage, sorry, because the fairy fight passed the fairy fire dex. Sorry.
No advantage, no nothing. No
Is it a cantrip you
nothing.
cast?
It is a cantrip.
Double check you don't get 2 beams or whatever it is.
No, it just goes up in damage.
Damage.
As I get.
As Mira comes out, like she's ready to like shoot this thing, but because it's lost its leg, it's lower to the ground as it crawls forward. She was aiming for where its head would be if it was standing up straight. The frost just goes over its head and smashes into the wall because this thing's pathetically dragging itself along the ground towards Lockie.
Oh dear. I mean, I do have. Oh no, it's very long. I'll leave it for my teammates to do because I want to save myself 3 points.
Lyra.
Alright. Lyra takes a step back into the doorway so she can see the chimera. Is also probably pitying the floor because it looks like such a pathetic sight. And then she just sort of sighs and she's like, I know you're not alive, but I almost still feel bad. And she just clicks, and with the snap of her fingers, the bonus action of her heat metal goes off and he's hit again.
Roll me 2d8, please. You might not be able to do this. Let's see. I hope it survives one more round, just so Yervith can
It
be
was
the one to
3d8
finish
because
it.
it was that higher level.
Oh yeah, you're right. It's probably gonna
Ooh.
17.
Oof.
As this last burst of flame courses across its body, the stained glass windows crack, the stained glass tiles crack, and the whole thing just tumbles apart into a broken pile of tile, of mortar, and stained glass. It just tumbles apart to the ground, and you are out of initiative. As the chimera just becomes a large pile of stained glass and broken tile on the ground.
I eye the knight suspiciously. Does it look like it's going to jump out of the wall? The wall's going to attack us now.
I'm gonna
make me
slowly
an insight check.
saunter up.
They're going to stalk the wall.
Storm
Insight check
Storm.
on the wall. Okay.
I want you to insight check the floor for the night. Natural
Oh,
20!
There's the inanimate object.
Amazing. Mira, I'm gonna give you this because I wasn't expecting that.
No.
The stained glass sword. Something about it seems a bit odd.
Ooh.
That's cool.
There's a bit of a weird looking at it. It seems a bit wrong. Like the angle that you're looking at doesn't look like it's a 2D image made up of tiles on the floor. It almost looks like it's really there inside the floor.
It's Wonka vision. I go up to the Wonka vision wall.
Mira gets shrunk down to a little tiny.
No!
Yeah, Mira. As you look at the stained glass, there's this relief made up of various tiles. This mosaic of the sword. Yeah, the glow seems almost real.
I turn to Yervith and I say, I believe this might be yours, even if you may not know it.
What do you mean? I kind of come up to where Mira is, and I will also look at the sword that she's.
Yeah,
What
now that Mira's
gesturing
pointing it out, yeah, you're getting that same thing. The rest of the tiles looked, the rest of the mosaic looks to be a normal mosaic, but the chimera you notice had this weird perspective, this sort of 3D shadow to it. The sword does too.
Wow. I guess I'll like kneel down and like try to get I kind of like give it a bit of a feel and see if I can like. I know it seems weird to me to be pulling something out of the floor, like that it looks like floor. It is like floor, but I kind of feel for something that feels a bit 3D or a bit
As you place your hand on the floor, your hand passes through and takes on the same mosaic tile appearance. And your hand, which is now inside the floor, is made up of this mosaic tile, but you can still move it and grip. The sword is just in front of you.
Okay, I'm gonna pull the sword out of the floor and see what happens.
Yeah, you reach forward, grasp the sword, and as you pull it forth, it takes on this real, this 3D appearance. You are now holding a sword. You are holding the Mosaic Sword. This is a custom magic item that I will create for you and share with you on D&D Beyond.
Oh wow!
It is a short sword. It is very elvish in design. It has these beautiful, beautiful patterns all over it. But it looks to be, it still has this mosaic appearance, as if it's made of mosaic tiles. But as you feel the edge, it is wicked sharp.
Whoa.
So for the purposes of today's session, it is a +1 short sword.
Okay.
And we'll have a chat at the end of the session. I might even, once everyone else has signed off, we might even do on stream a little behind the scenes, and you and I have a bit of a chat about what it does.
Amazing. That sounds really cool. All right.
This is all because Mira rolled a natural 20 on that insight check, and I thought, yeah, fuck, I'm going to reward that. Let's come up with an on-the-spot improvised magic item that could be a lot of fun.
Yay!
So let's do it. I had an idea.
Thanks, Mira. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Inside check every time, guys. Every time.
Every time.
It only works. It only works if you shout inside check into my ear as well. It's really important. I cannot have my players getting into the role play and saying, "Oh, do I believe this person?" I need you to shout inside check at me.
You can't hold my technique for results, okay?
Is that how you like take a medical history? Is like insight check whenever someone's like, I only drink like 2 or 3 times a week. You just like smash down their file. Insight check, because that's what I do.
Sometimes.
Insight check, you bastard. Yeah, so carry on.
Arthur's watching, Owen. Arthur's watching. Okay.
Yeah, you smash it into the face. You got to get the file right in their face to really motivate them to tell the truth. My registration runs out in 2 days. Don't worry, it's gone. I don't need it.
Yeah. I just look at Mira and I just say, "Thank you. This is wonderful." I sort of test it out a little bit, kind of give it a couple of swings, and feels really well weighted. Yeah, it's yeah, no, very, very, very grateful.
It's nothing to do with me, and Mira just walks away.
Fair enough.
Cool.
It's actually kind of looking around because she's in that magical sorcery sort of frame of mind now.
Oh yeah, okay.
Picking up all the magic. Is there any, like, just sweeping the room? Is there any signs of disturbance or use even?
As you have a bit of a look through the room, now that you're sort of fully in the room and you're exploring a bit more carefully, there are some features that you can see. So yeah, the word safe is written in all caps in chalk on the floor just in front of the door towards the north. See that really clearly. Someone has written safe. You can see that the hallway down towards the south that I think Mira can see now that she's fully stepped into the room, there is a large mosaic of a sun depicted just above that hallway. Just near the hallway, this large mosaic sun. And then what I was saying before about those copper doors with the this eroded and degraded, corroded copper, depicting a group of wizards peering into this deep pool of water. And... Not happy?
No, I don't like the sound of that. No.
Okay, cool. And then this large male wizard standing above it, as if pulling or summoning a creature from the pool.
Yeah, nah, we've had.
And as you watch, you see these large tentacles begin. No. The words Cthulhu Fatagan begin engraving themselves across the top of the. No, none of that happens.
With these wizards, and you're saying that they are looking into a deep pool. Is it like a pool in the sense that it's just a black void, perhaps darkness that mortals should not be looking into?
It's more engraved to look like water. Or does it actually
look like a water motif?
Yeah, it's engraved to look like a water motif. But your hypothesis is you say that. You don't get the sense that that is an incorrect connection that you might have made there. Let me put it that way. Like that's a very valid hypothesis you've come up with. Just because this is engraved to look like water, you know that deep pools of water can look like darkness as well. Can just be dark, and your experience in the jungle as well. These these pools of water, these blue holes that just drop down below the surface into the volcanic tunnels, the lava tunnels below. You know that there's deep, dark things down in those waters. So that's not I would say that is a valid hypothesis. You would know that instantly, thinking that.
This is a bit of a long shot, but the mosaic of the sun.
Yes.
If you were to look opposite it, like with the sun shining behind you, is there anywhere on the opposite wall where it looks like a shadow would have been cast by it?
Oh, that's a really good call. I wish there was, man. That'd be amazing. Unfortunately, there's not. The sun is just a mosaic, but that's really cool. That would have been really cool.
Well, then looks like we have a decision to make.
We can safely assume that Varum is probably through the door marked safe, just because I'm imagining the cultists probably are the kind of people that, they wouldn't really beat around the bush and, they wouldn't write safe next to the unsafe door, right?
That would be quite cruel if it was unsafe.
I mean,
But, if the cultists come in to see Varum.
Makes sense.
Yeah, safe for who? Also, by the way, Lockie's using his shield to sort of like hobble along at the moment. But it depends on if they mean safe for in themselves. Everyone could mean not safe for intruders.
Does it mean something in a different language?
Safair.
Fair.
Safair.
Maybe it's Efas. It's written backwards and upside down.
I agree, though, Lyra. I don't think they're that sophisticated either. So.
Well, I'm happy to push forward.
Maybe use the mirror.
Yeah.
Just in case.
That's an idea. Although I don't think I'm going to be able to stand at the front of a fight next time. I'm not really feeling it.
Do we?
I dropped a couple of cogs back there. They were. I want to say they weren't important, but I can't be 100% sure about that.
Oh, that doesn't sound good.
I'll give you a potion of healing, greater.
Oh, thank you, my dear.
It's no good when you have spare parts.
It always ends up with spare parts. Yeah, you should. I changed my digestive system once, and I don't know what's going on.
That's horrible.
It was a joke. I don't actually eat.
I had my digestive system wired backwards. It was awful.
14.
I put it in upside down. Oh, those Allen keys. I didn't know what to do with them.
Okay. I'm a little bit better. I can put myself back together, I guess. Okay.
Do we need to take a bit of a quick break? Like, are you okay, Lockie? Like, you did take a bit of a brunt of a hit there.
I would say I'm at approximately half capacity. Like I said, I've lost a couple of cogs, a couple of teeth gone missing, but I think I could probably go on if we need to push. If you feel time's a factor, I could probably push on.
It does say safe.
I am just thinking that Varum might be through the door, and he's probably not going to be too happy to see you guys. Like,
well, that's something we should discuss.
I mean,
how we're going to approach him.
It's not like I'm pretty sure things around here may have hurt us. And I look at Lockie, and I'm like, that spell you did when you did the. It's like.
Yeah,
it wasn't exactly quiet, so...
No.
That's a good point.
It's in the name Shatter. It's generally pretty loud.
Yeah. So I think let's go up to the safe door, see what's there. Maybe we can find this Varum fellow finally. And
I have a couple of tricks up my sleeve, so we should be okay.
All right. Cool.
Lyra just taps Lockie on the shoulder and says, "It isn't much, but I'm doing my best."
Oh, thank you, my dear.
Aw.
Yeah, you did great.
Lyra is feeling bad that she does not have more healing spells and spell slots.
That's all right. I'm feeling much better, actually. That's I definitely needed that. That hit the spot.
So,
Right,
what would you guys like to do?
Let's spy on the door.
Okay.
So
Very
Mira's
carefully-
gonna insight check the door, so we'll get that. No. Sorry, Matt. Please go ahead with actual D&D.
Yeah, Yervith is just gonna very quietly sort of step up to the door. I mean, not that being quiet is a thing, because obviously our presence is probably known. But I'm still gonna go up to the door anyway, and I'm gonna do my trick again. I'm gonna listen to see if I can hear any movement or any noises coming through the door.
Yeah, absolutely. Chuck me a perception check.
Hell yeah. Let's do it.
Eee.
That's more like it.
21. You can hear the sound of water trickling in the room beyond.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Just sounds like water. Can't hear any other noises, so
The occasional drip of water.
press my hand on the door, see if it's locked or not.
It's not locked.
Is it?
The door is unlocked.
Cool. I guess again, very carefully, cautiously push the door ajar and use the mirror. Here's the mirror that Jin gave me. And I'm going to look through the door without poking my head out and to see if there's anything or anyone through the door.
Yeah, the room beyond is a large circular chamber with a large stone well standing in the very center of the room. You can see that the sides of the well and the floor next to it are covered in these bright red mushrooms. And you can see that there is a bronze bucket tied to a rope just sitting on the edge of the well.
Sounds very safe.
And there's also an empty stone basin against the far wall towards the north.
Does Lyra recognize the mushrooms? Like, does she immediately sort of look at them and go, they have poisonous spores?
Chuck us a nature check, I'd say, or survival. Your choice.
Okay, survival versus nature, definitely survival.
I thought you might want to use your wisdom.
Fuck.
11. They don't look like any poisonous mushrooms you've seen before. You don't recognize the group specifically, but there's no dots on them. There's no specific patterns. Normally mushrooms which are poisonous tend to have quite colourful patterns on them. These are just red.
That's what worries me.
But there's no spores falling off them. There's no bones around them. There's no mummified corpses with mushrooms sticking out of their mouths in the middle of the room. There's none of that.
That's nice.
So, guys...
Too specific?
But there's
I've
also like
got an idea.
there is just one quick thing you didn't mention, Owen. There's
Yeah.
also a gigantic, no, not gigantic, but a pool.
Well,
I don't know
yeah,
how
there's a
deep
well.
it goes.
There's a well in the center of the room.
I'm just thinking that the mushrooms kill things maybe, and then a big tentacle comes up and just grabs them. So how safe is it? We'll find out, I guess.
Well,
I mean, there's a basin. It would assume that the
That was
well
out of
is
character.
in you.
I think I described
Yeah,
it well,
but-
didn't
Yervith is going to look at the pool, like the well in the room. And then he's going to look up at the copper statue relief above the other door of
Yep.
the guy summoning thing in the pool. And I'm like, are they the same? Do they look similar?
Very
Should
different.
we
The
freeze them?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so the what you're looking into here is clearly a well, a
Okay.
stone well with this bronze bucket. The pool in this copper depiction seems to be much bigger, and it's the border around it are these sweeping, almost like
okay.
liquid like stone reliefs, whereas this is just a stone well.
Standard. Yeah, cool. I feel a bit better about that. I'm going to slowly enter the room with the
Yeah.
well in it,
And you were saying something, sorry, Lyra?
maybe.
I was gonna say, once she's within 30 feet of this well, Lyra would like to put down as thick of a layer of ice on the top of the well, so that even if anything does come through it, at least we'll be able to hear the ice cracking.
absolutely.
I'll
Yeah,
assist with that.
fucking abuse water. Yeah, you hold your hands out and shake water, and you freeze the top of the well. Absolutely.
Can I get an idea of what this room might be for? Does it look like a religious thing or like a practical thing, like for a water store, like safety water?
The chalk
idea?
the chalk is clearly fresh. It's not an original part of this design. Someone has added that quite recently and written it in common. The rest of this area looks to be much older. And Lyra, as you step in and begin looking around, you can actually see there are some words written in Druidic along the walls. But Claire, you get the sense.
She just tuned everything up.
Claire, Mira, sorry, you get the sense that it's a well room. It is where you get access to water. The basin at the far end, that's a bit harder to know. There's this stone basin at the very far end built into the wall itself that is dry. There's no water in it, and there's a large lever next to it as well. This large lever. There's a series of gears and pipes which disappear into the stone floor in that far room from that basin.
Lockie, no.
Yes?
Don't pull the lever.
At least let me
Okay.
read the writing first.
That's
Lockie?
fine. I won't pull. I can have a look
Lockie?
at the gears. and
Lockie,
not
pull the lever.
Did you hear something? I thought I heard something.
Lockie's
I know,
subroutine
it was-
starts
there was
like
some-
pull the lever.
Pull the lever. Pull the lever.
And that's the Auto-Tune remix. Pull the lever. Lyra, as you begin looking over this Druidic, it seems to be... it doesn't look to be an original part of the design. Someone has come in here since and etched these into the stone wall. It says, because you can read Druidic, it says, to feed the central pool, water must be taken from the well. Add to the basin, pull the lever, and see into the depths below.
Ugh.
She follows those instructions exactly.
Fantastic. So you walk up to the well, unfreeze the water, get the bucket, fill it up with water, take it to the basin, pour the water in, pull the lever.
Just as I finished telling Lockie, don't pull the lever.
I like to think Mira like sits Lockie down and starts going through why he shouldn't pull the lever. Yervith and Jin are sort of watching this, and in the background, Lyra is just like disappears the ice, fills up the bucket, walks over to the basin, pours it in,
Don't
pulls
touch
the
the
lever.
lever. Lyra's just like, what?
As
You touch the
Lyra
lever.
As
touch the lever.
Yep. Owen, as she goes to grab the lever, Jin will just sort of creep behind the door and use it as cover while and just watching it unfold.
That sounds good.
I love it.
Yervith's
Yeah.
got to follow that because Jin's like,
I'm assuming she's wherever the basin is.
exactly right.
Wait, so Yervith and Jin are just both like on either side, they have their own door, and they're just using the little crack and just both sort of peeping in, like one probably above the other.
As you pull the lever,
Okay, cool. Let's see.
a section of stone in the bottom of the basin drops out, and the water drains away from the basin, leaving it empty, and then the stone goes back into place, and then with a kunk, the lever goes back into the primary position. And as the water drains away and disappears, you hear the sound of water rushing through pipes below you as it disappears somewhere.
That wasn't too
Weird
bad.
question.
Yeah.
Can Lyra
Turn into a
use
fish.
shape? No, she's gonna use shape water and essentially just straight up water bend the water from the well into that basin and then activate the lever so that it's constantly flowing from the well into the basin. Like there's just a bunch of water going.
Yeah, of course you can. You guys watch as this, nothing happens. You see the sound of water sort of gurgling through pipes as it disappears. And then Lyra begins concentrating, and then this stream of water pulls up out of the well and begins filling the basin as she pulls the lever. Tunk, and then the water begins draining away, but she continually renews it. You watch as Lyra does this. What would the rest of you like to do? Is there any intervention happening here, or are we happy just to let this continue?
Actually, Lockie looks at Mira and goes, I promise I will not pull the lever.
Good. And we've gone through the reasoning and we've come to the same conclusion.
I feel
Halfway
you have
through-
a third line of reasoning. There's
Yes.
probably a trap of some sort.
Yes, I agree. Yes?
Halfway through
I
their
think you should possibly look
conversation.
behind you.
Yes. What?
Okay.
No.
I turn around.
Lockie, I noticed. Lockie noticed.
Yeah.
Of course I know.
Ah,
I bet you-
Lyra. Is there a reason for this?
Yes. Did you read the writing down there?
What,
No,
you mean
they're
the
instructions.
instructions on the wall?
Yes.
All of you hear a blood-curdling scream coming from a room elsewhere.
Whoa, what?
I shake water and direct the water away. That
Yup.
I was just counting down in my head how long it would take, and then that was about the time. Yervith, it's coming from behind those bronze doors, which are copper doors, which are caved into the room. As you hear this, and then that's what you hear.
What?
I,
You died, Lyra! Oh!
Yeah.
What?
Yervith probably like shits himself.
Yeah. Oh.
Luckily, Yervith's wearing brown pants in his character art.
Oh yeah, brown pants and red shirt, baby.
The screaming
Whoa,
stops
that's
after about 6 to 8 seconds. The screaming stops,
What the fuck?
replaced
Is
by
there any, like-
eerie, quiet.
Lyra's
silence.
stuck.
I'm going to go
Hello?
check the big door now and just see what that's about.
I'm going to look as well with Yervith.
Yeah.
Is there any like?
Owen.
Yeah?
That my character, it's stuck. I can't move it anywhere other than the opposite direction to where I'm trying to move her.
There you go. That better? Oh, where are you
No.
going? There you go.
Is it- Okay. It's still
How's that?
going backwards.
So my question is, are you using the mouse or the arrow keys?
The mouse.
Okay, try the
Yeah,
arrow
I can
keys.
use the arrow keys.
Perfect, Amundo.
Right, that works.
Yeah. So Jin and Yervith, would you guys like to make me investigation or perception checks as you begin investigating or perceiving this door?
Definitely.
I'll probably just help Yervith.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Give him the help
Absolutely.
action.
Oh dear
So it's
me.
either going to be a 20 non-natural to perception, or it's going to be
20 unnatural's good.
or 19.
19's good too.
Uh,
20, yeah. So there's definitely, as you begin sort of investigating, the two of you looking, you can see that there's been some sort of rock slide or cave in on the other side of this door. There are sections where it has broken and there's gaps in the copper that you can see through, where you can see it's a caved in tunnel. There's no light coming through, but there's a muffled sounds coming through. And as you sort of begin looking around, you can now hear an insane gibbering of a voice going from beyond this door, and the sound of someone hitting something meaty against stone.
Oh.
what the?
I just want to point out all of this. None of this is supposed to happen. This is because of what Lyra did.
I take it that the rock slide happened before.
A while
because you
ago.
said it was already
It
dented.
looks like this happened a while
But-
ago. The copper has
What-
eroded
yeah.
in such a way that it looks like this is old. This rock slide.
Is the copper doors like pretty easy to like? Are they locked at all, or
No, but they've buckled forwards from the weight of this stone behind them, and as you begin sort of looking through and examining, you get the sense that the doors are held in place. For podcast listeners who can't see our chat, the reason the rest of the party are now crying is because Lyra has messaged. Would you want to read it out loud for us, Lyra?
So while the others are busy with the door and looking at the door, trying to peek through cracks, listening to the gibberish happening,
Yeah.
Lyra's going to try and tiptoe. She knows that the others probably aren't going to be a fan of this idea, but she's going to tiptoe back to the pool.
Oh, you betcha.
Start filling the pool again, just to see if he starts screaming. She's trying to, sort of cause and effect, correlate
betcha.
something.
You betcha.
For science.
The sounds of the screaming and the gibbering stop, and there's just now quiet breathing, this sort of panting coming from the other side of the door after a minute has passed. 'Cause it's been about a minute while this is going on. And Lyra begins filling the basin again.
no?
After a few seconds, you hear a voice say very clearly, "Oh fuck no!" Blah, 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 blah," from the other side of the door.
I'll turn around at that point, I think, and notice what's happening. And I'm like, Lyra, you're drowning someone. Did you realize it the first time?
The voice now switches back to screaming again.
It's screaming again. It's screaming now.
I believe it's called waterboarding.
It's screaming, Lyra. It's screaming now.
I look at Jin.
That was
and
just
I'm like,
scary.
should we open these doors or like?
As you look at me, I sort of look into the door and look at the rock slide and go, I think we're not going to have much luck this way.
Yeah.
I have a suggestion. I could,
All ears.
well, it's through the pipes, isn't it? I don't want to play into stereotypes, but I have a way of getting through the pipes. I can cast gaseous form and get into the room that way.
But what if it's dangerous on the other side?
Well,
Yeah.
he's screaming. Do you want to go to the screaming?
Well, I might be able to save him from whatever we've done.
Or I look at
Yes, we.
I look at the other door and I go, maybe we can get around that way.
There's only one way in. He must have gone through that tunnel.
Lyra, please don't fill the water anymore. Because the
I
screaming
won't.
is very
Oh, shit,
scary
that makes it.
and triggering.
Hey. He just-
So
This
Let's
is
go
a. wait,
this
I think I'm
way.
confused. Is this a door?
Which
Yeah.
one?
The thing we're saying in front.
Yes.
Can we not just open the door?
No,
No,
the rocks are
the rock
pushing
slides.
it. Are like
The
blocking
rock
it.
It looks like the door
Slides,
opens.
but-
It looks like the door opens inward into the room you're in. It's just that it's
Inward.
buckled and the hinges are damaged by the rock fall beyond. It looks like it might be very difficult to open.
I mean, I could give it a try if you like. See if I can pull it down.
Oh, Lockie, I mean, you're not. Are you sure? You're not in your. No offense, but you did take some damage. I don't want you to injure
I
yourself.
can-
further.
I
I took some damage. My servo motors is still perfectly viable.
Oh well, excellent then.
I can
I'm going-
assist with that.
I'm going to pretend I know exactly what server. motors
That's
are.
passed. There. That's bit there.
Oh.
It's still strong.
Very
I'll-
good.
You'd probably have you probably still have a bardic inspiration as well for 10 minutes.
Yeah,
So I don't know how
that'd
much
still be up,
time's
I'd say.
elapsed, but you
Good
might still
shout.
have it.
Amazing.
Can I assist with abuse water again? So as you kind of
Abuse water.
moves the rock.
It's not shape water anymore. It's just abuse water because they're just abusing
Abuse
the
water.
fuck out of
So
this
what,
catch.
what he's going to try and do is so you say is it a single door or is it a double door?
Double
that's
door,
buckled?
large double door.
Double doors buckled. Okay, well he's just going to try and get in between them and just rip them open.
Or the
Fantastic.
other-
Is anyone helping Lockie with this, or is he just doing it by himself?
I think Mira said
Lyra
she was
help?
helping.
With hydraulic water.
Yes, hydraulic water. Yes.
So you'll have to be within 30 feet of that for your shape water, but sure, yeah. So position yourselves where you want to be for helping Lockie. Put yourselves on the map where you want to be. Let me know when
you
you're
know
ready.
what? Yervith will help.
Front center.
Thank you.
You gotta put your
I'm gonna take
Lockie
it
in
back.
front of the doors.
I'm gonna be more on I'm gonna be like on sentry guard.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
keeping watch for any patrols that still might come upon us.
That's a good idea.
Absolutely.
And I've helped with the bardic inspiration, so I'm still helping in my own way.
I'll get you to make me a strength check, Lockie, with advantage.
Thank you. And I add my intelligence to this as well.
Yes.
So I'll roll with advantage and then add
Whoa!
4.
Oh,
We saw that, Owen. I don't think it
Yeah.
was meant to happen.
No,
Oh my
it doesn't
god,
matter.
you rolled a nat. Oh, okay.
I
Doesn't
can't
matter.
see nothing.
Yeah. And then,
Lockie,
so
as
add
you-
4 to that, so 24
Yeah.
plus.
Oh, rocks fall. Do rocks fall? Are we gonna die?
Rocks fall as Lockie, as you get 20 and you pull open the doors, the rock slide, which was barely being contained by these copper doors, explodes outwards. Lyra, Mira, Lockie, and Yervith, I need you to make me dexterity saving throws to avoid taking
Everybody.
26 bludgeoning damage.
no.
Jin's okay. Jin's
Oh.
fine. Jin's not 10 feet within 10 feet of the doors, but everyone else.
Possible this is bad.
So 17 for Lockie, you're
18.
fine. 16 for Lyra, you're
Oh,
fine.
no.
Yervith, 18, you're fine. Mira, oh no,
11.
11 was the first one you rolled, wasn't it? I'm sorry,
Yeah.
my friend. So anyone who passed, actually, no, sorry, Lyra. Oh no, 16. No, you do make it. 16 is the pass. Sorry, 16 is the pass. So everyone who passed takes 13 damage as half. Lyra, unfortunately, you take the 26 bludgeoning damage as the rocks just pile into the room, and this whole area is now completely caved in.
Oh my.
Rocks fall.
Thanks.
Oh,
Just as I go down.
And then I'll chuck some rock slides here so you can get the full experience.
well, that was no good.
Oh
Oh no, Lockie!
He's just buried. He's just gone.
Oh
That
Well,
was
one way we can go, I guess.
Well,
yeah.
did that make it easier? Can we actually like go over the rubble now, Owen, or is that still like completely
The
caved
whole section is just caved in. The roof has collapsed in on
Okay.
itself. This area is unless you've got some mold earth powers, this is going to be
No.
tough to get through. You're going to be digging away at this for a while.
in? How's everyone looking, by the way, real quick?
I'm like under the rocks and like a couple of limbs.
You like dived for cover and like only one rock hit you, but it's right on your chest. It's like Mjolnir. You're trapped under it. I am not worthy.
Yervith looks completely fine. He just like snaps his like arm back. He's like, ah, that's all right. I'm good. I'm good.
And Jin's just standing there tapping his feet, like looking at his watch, being like, "Guys, come on! Like, what are we doing? Come on, stop fucking about."
I might actually have a good idea. Okay, a better idea than the well idea.
Yeah, I
But-
was gonna say.
Our ideas are slowly getting
Um,
worse, so I think that this
do
will be.
Well, I was just thinking, I can make us disappear for 24 hours, so to speak.
What?
The well
Really?
room seems to be not traveled. It's not a through room. It only has the well. The only activity in there seems to be druidic in nature. I was thinking perhaps I could use my hallucinatory terrain abilities to perhaps make us disappear for 24 hours and
Have a
we can have like a long night's sleep.
Do
Could
I
work.
do I remember
Actually work.
anything? Oh no, I wasn't there. No, we were. We were wait. No. Was there a time limit on what that priestess was saying? And I can't remember if I was there for that conversation or not.
Sorry, what was that? Sorry, Claire.
Was there a time? Weren't they going to do some ritual tonight or tomorrow night?
Yep.
But I may not have been there for that conversation.
I believe only Jin was there for that conversation.
Okay.
Oh no! It was the people who were at the Ziggurat base. So you, Yervith,
Oh yeah, we had
and
it.
Lockie were there for that because she was saying like, keep everybody out. I need to be inside here undisturbed for the ritual tonight. The mood is at its peak. Tonight is the night we need to do this.
That's right. Yes.
It's gonna be tonight. Fuck.
Yes.
Probably
It's
should-
it's okay. I'll be fine.
maybe
we should wait for an hour then. Like just
Maybe-
like, just let you rest your feet, stop bleeding.
I got the black long paw.
You've got a bit of a cut on top of your eyebrow there.
can't offer much in terms of healing, but maybe these. And I just pull out like a random bushel of berries, and I'm just like, huh? Anybody want a quick snack?
Oh my god!
Are you casting Goodberry, Yervith?
yeah.
Okay, cool. I thought so.
Yeah.
It's almost like a
Does
shit
your,
magician. He like reaches up his sleeve and pulls out, and instead of a bouquet of flowers, it's like a bouquet of good berries.
Yeah.
Ta-da!
But it's just like random berries that he's found, and he's just like, "What? They're good now."
Yeah, every
you still
good
have
berry you eat,
your-
you get a hit point.
Yeah.
Can you do the rope trick, Matt? Can you still do that?
I actually can't. I have no level 2 spells.
Damn.
Mm,
Because we could have just
just spent it on
disappeared for,
good
like, an hour
berries.
and had a short rest.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Just in a.
I mean,
But Lyra is right. The well room seems reasonably defensible. We could probably just hold up in there for a little bit of time.
Sure. Let's
I
do
can
that.
carry a couple of these cogs.
yeah, that sounds good to me. Keep a watch.
yeah, Lockie and Mira, you.
I'm gonna shake out of the Yuan-Ti form. It's, Jin's starting to feel a little anxious about it. He just feels a bit slimy.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair.
He's sort of done with that form. He's gonna revert back to Lyrian.
See, as the
Oh.
Yuan-Ti form shifts and disappears, and now Illyrian is standing before you once again.
You sort of see me like sort of like moving my shoulders back and like sort of that feels better.
It's good to see a friendly face again.
Yes.
Ah yes. Yes, quite right, Lockie.
Wait, are you Illyrian?
Yes.
Okay.
I've just shifted in front of your eyes from a Yuan-Ti to a Lyran because I couldn't be bothered doing the voice for like 3 sessions.
Yeah.
I mean, a lizard folk, and I just wanted to talk normal. That's probably
cool.
what it came down to.
Oh, I can't
Yeah,
imagine what that would be like.
As you shapeshift in front of me and you walk away, I'm just like, oh, I still gotta get used to that. I shake my head and just follow you into the room.
All right,
Oh, yeah,
once everyone's inside, I'm also going to close that door as well.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Wait,
do...
does the door open inwards or outwards?
Which one? Sorry, the one up here. It opens inwards, in towards the pool.
Inwards? All right, well, I'm going to grab one of the rocks, like a big rock, and then drag it inside, close the door, and push the rock up against the door.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's a great idea.
I'm also... Oh, actually, if he does that, I don't really need to do this now.
No?
We'll be able to hear anything move. Like that rock, it will move and we'll be alerted.
It'll scrape, yeah.
I was just gonna do a whistle and bell. Sorry, not, like a rope and a whistle or a bell.
It's not a
But
bad
there's no
idea.
point doing it now with the rock there.
No, not really.
Yeah, it does exactly the same thing.
So, short rest, everybody.
Yes.
Yes.
Roll your hit dice.
I
Take your short
definitely
rest.
need one.
Yeah, no.
Not for
take your
health
short
wise, but I
rests.
just need all my bardic inspirations in my spell slots.
I would
need a
never
wild
want to
shape.
get in a wild shape. I would never get in the way of you guys having a long rest or a short rest. So take your long or short rests. In this case, short rest.
Alright. So Lockie's going to sit down and he's going to open up the section on his arm, take out a bunch of tools, and just start like fiddling and tinkering, and things, knocking things back into place.
All right,
Yeah,
I'm
you're
gonna
not
roll 4 hit dice.
Yeah.
God, has this temple been a bit of a tough jaunt so far, guys?
Just quickly with the hit dice.
A little bit.
God.
Bad.
Just the rest. I might do 4.
Actually, I like it. It's gonna be 3 hit dice.
So if you are any friend, I'll just quickly do this.
Yep.
I also have that, guys, that you can take advantage of.
get an extra
might not need
1d6
to
hit
roll
points, so everyone gets an extra 1d. Oh no, you're 1d6. Yeah.
No, we're not 9th level. Next level. That's
Yeah.
not.
So do you want to roll that
But-
d6
well, that-
for everyone, Jin?
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I'll do that.
Get my fire. Not
Everyone
fire.
gets an extra 5 hit points. Very nice.
Oh, wow, I'm back to full health now.
I'm looking pretty good. Still
Nice.
a couple of scrapes and scratches.
Yeah, I'm looking good.
Yeah.
Beautiful. That's exciting.
2, it is that one.
That was a good one. Yeah.
3 plus
We'll
5
get-
plus 1 more dice.
So I healed, thanks to your extra 5 there, I healed 31.
Nice.
Whoa.
I just wanted to check what oration is. It's like giving like a formal speech.
Oration
I
is
think
speech,
it'd be
exactly.
funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Just
an
to be sitting
inspirational.
there,
Yeah.
just giving everyone like pep talks, and
Oh.
that's
Give
how
us-
everyone gets their
Give
some
us
sort of
constructive feedback on all of our decisions.
Sounds
I
like
just
embarrassing.
wanted to point out where you all fucked up last.
I'll probably just go around going, don't stand so close to a door that's buckling under a rock, to everybody as I stood there and taking
Yeah.
the damage.
Lyra, if you could avoid filling a basin with water and continually pulling a lever when a man screams every time you do it, that'd be great. Thanks.
You weren't curious to see if it was cause and effect. I mean, you had to be sure that it was the water. I mean, he may have just been randomly screaming because of that rock slide.
And as you say that,
Okay.
twice doesn't seem enough.
No, I mean, really. But to not piss off the rest of the group, instead she's just going to look around the room and see if there's anything else druidic in nature.
No, just that one bit of writing on the wall that gave those instructions of what to do.
Yeah, as someone
alrighty.
pointed out, it is for science though. So you
For
should-
science. Avienna B in the chat, was like, for science! In all caps. So, yeah, that's about right. They also had the great pun. You could say you put the floor in its place. Also quite good. Well done, well done, well done.
Excellent. Like it.
Um, Absolutely. So everyone takes 1d6 psychic damage. So,
Yeah.
what would you guys like to do? I pass back over to you.
Well, we have that other room that other corridor we haven't been to yet, so looks like that's our only way.
option.
Yeah.
It's the only way. It's a really vague, bizarre Adventure Time reference. I don't know why that popped into my head just then.
It feels like that right now.
I was hoping someone would respond by screaming, "My way!" which is the follow-up to that quote.
Sorry.
But no one did. That's okay.
Yeah.
That's all right.
The only thing I can remember from Adventure Time that I laugh at a lot is just like 1,000-year dungeon.
Yeah, that's good too. Yeah, yeah, I love it. Anything by the Earl of Lemongrab is mint.
I'm closing my eyes.
What are you doing?
Lyra went somewhere she wasn't supposed to.
Oh,
I'm
fuck.
trying to use the arrow keys because I can't use my mouse.
What?
Jesus Christ. I'll just move you down the corridor, guys.
Yeah, just
I got
yeah,
this.
Whoa. This is a big corridor.
Mm.
It's very
The
straight,
longest
narrow,
corridor.
angled corridor.
Yeah, you pass through. At the end of the corridor, this section just carries on. It is just this long, dark corridor with no sign of any light or interesting things. But as you reach the end of the corridor and move into this next room here, you can see this large antechamber. The smell of incense filling the room and rich tapestries covering the walls. On the south wall, there is a large chute dropping down that is letting in light from the... is moving up, letting in light from the outside. And as you step in, you hear those whispers in your ears again, the same ones as the statues that you stepped past on your way in. But this time you can actually make out words. And the voice says, "Humility proffered in the manner of Mistral shelters those opening the way to seek knowledge." And I'll paste that.
In common.
In common. The language that you first learnt to speak. So in Mira's case, that'd be Draconic. Lockie's case, that would probably be Giant. Lyra's case, Corey. Yervith, probably Elvish. Jin, probably Common, I would say. Yeah. Yeah, that's what you...
Do we recognize the name Mistral?
Oh my god, some of the chat actually got that reference. Chat, I love you. You're amazing. we've got an E and then someone going, "My way!" Chat, you're legends. Mistral. Yeah, feel free to make me a religion check if you like.
Oh, I'm so good at all of these checks.
19.
Oh, 19.
You have heard the name Mistral before. Mistral is a god that has faded from, or a goddess, I should say, that's faded from memory. A goddess that disappeared during the ruin. Fought against the betrayer gods, fought for the side of the primary deities, the prime gods, but at some point was either killed or sealed away or damaged by the betrayer gods and has vanished from the world, is no more. But yeah, was a goddess of magic and knowledge, mostly forbidden knowledge.
Oh. Uh-oh.
Yeah, also known as the Lady of Mysteries was another.
Okay.
Yeah, and also known as the name Mistra. There's a couple of different names that she's known by.
Shout out to Season 2 Fantasy High.
Yeah.
Does anyone else hear that?
Yes.
Yeah.
I am. Does this room look like it's the room that snake lady would likely be using for her ritual?
I don't know how you would know that. I mean, it's a large antechamber covered in rich tapestries, but there's no dioceses, there's no religious paraphernalia that could be used.
What got me.
Yeah, there's incense all around, but you can't see where that incense is coming from. There's no source of the incense that you can see.
So no signs of life in here.
No, just these large tapestries. And as you sort of have a bit of a look around, I think Lyra, you're in front at this point. The tapestries that you can see, Lyra, from left to right as you go around the room. Why don't I move you guys in the room? There's nothing jumping out, nothing activates as you step into the room. Be nice, DM. As you have a bit of a look around the room, Lyra, the tapestries depict initially what look to be druids. There's the symbol of your circle, the half moon in front of the full moon, which is the two moons of Nostea, because there are two moons. One's full at one half the year, while the other one's a half moon. And when they're aligned, that is the symbol of your druidic circle. The first one depicts them hiding away, coming across this ancient ruined city, deep within the jungle, taking on forms. And then you see in the next tapestry, as you move along to the left, so this is the first tapestry here, in the northmost part of the room. The next tapestry is on the northwestmost section, sorry. You can now see them trying out these new forms, more serpent-like forms, to adapt to the jungle. And then the southwestern portion, you see the ziggurat being explored. These depictions of the druids exploring the ziggurat and coming across this large, dark pool. And then in the next panel, the southmost wall, you can now see the serpent-like forms becoming more dominant as the druids lose the ability to change to other forms. They're trapped in these serpent-like bodies and a dark shape moving in the pool, showing them glimpses of some other knowledge, these words moving from the pool into their minds in an unknown language, warping and shifting their forms. The final tapestry shows Yuan-Ti. The moon symbol has now changed to a sun with a moon in front. And it seems like this is the origin of the Yuan-Ti.
Oh, that's so cool! Can Lyra try and date how old she thinks these tapestries are?
Oh, yeah, that's a history check.
Or at least, yeah. Alright, not her strong point. Go, Lyra, go!
14. These have been well maintained. It looks like these have been deliberately looked after. There are patches where age has damaged the material and has been repaired. But you would estimate, we're talking decades and decades and decades, possibly hundreds of years after the ruin, but not recently. Only just after the ruin.
Alrighty. I think she's probably feeling really conflicted right now. Like, part of her is like, well, I know what happened to my fucking circle. And then on the other hand, she's really mad at them for giving up all of the forms for one Yuan-Ti form, essentially, because the thing that keeps Lyra in Druidism is the ability, to sort of change into all of nature. Like, it's the harmony of the nature that is, or at least was, what a lot of her circle was about. And she remembers that they were sort of really interested in sort of, more reptilian forms when she was going off to the castle to look at Wyrens, but I think she's also probably a little bit mad that they settled for snakes.
I would say that the second last tapestry, as you see them being shifted and moved into these forms, these words, these written words in this language you don't recognize, coming out of the pool and wrapping around them, and then this strange shadow with these sort of large, almost like 5 appendages deep in the water. It doesn't look like it's a painless process, and it doesn't look like it's voluntary, I would say. You can see the shapes of figures writhing. Whatever this was, it doesn't look like it was pleasant.
Lyra's made up her mind. She is probably going to try and drain the pool.
Yeah.
So that it can't happen to anyone else.
But you just put all the water into the pool, and then you're going to check it all out.
I think, so she's going to turn the others, and she's... So, do you guys see, these tapestries? I'm not the only one seeing them, right?
No,
I'm not crazy.
No, I don't know what it means, though. I don't really understand.
Very colourful.
I do. That's my family. That's my family turning into Yuan-Ti. That's my family dying.
Oh.
Oh,
I don't mean to bring this up, but you ate the Yuan-Ti. So did you just?
They are. Yes, they are. So
You eat?
I thought you said they were badges.
Oh.
I thought I said they were what?
Badges. Underground.
That's what I thought. That was the plan. Is to
In
turn
the
into
in the
badgers.
bottom right hand corner of the last tapestry, one of the Yuan-Ti is eating a badger.
Oh!
Just devouring it. Yeah.
I love the jungle.
So
The old-fashioned jungle badgers.
So these
Honey badger. It's a
Yeah,
honey
well,
badger being
that-
devoured by a snake. Yeah, that's terrifying.
Snake. Oh,
That
God.
is terrifying.
these people depicted on these tapestries, they're part of your circle.
Yeah, well, was, I think, being the key word.
Oh,
Looks like you escaped quite a fate. Mira's looking at the second last tapestry.
Yeah, I'm with you there, and look at the faces. Like, that's like tapestries are really hard to make, and like that was a really intentional move on the artist of the tapestry to draw them
how-
looking like that.
are you the last of your kind, or are there others of your circle that still exist? Or
Not that I'm aware of. I haven't found anyone since. And
Could this be reversed? Could we, this doesn't seem right.
I mean, a lot of magic that is cast can be reversed, or at least undone.
I just don't know much about druidic magic. That's all.
Hmm.
hell, even the druids don't know much about druidic magic.
I mean, if there was a mention of Mistral,
Yes.
who is a highly magic being,
oh,
and part of the high arts of magic, at least, are the undoing of magical spells as they're being cast.
Yes.
So
I
I-
know a little bit about that.
I do not, unfortunately, as much as I know, but at least there is a possibility, I suppose, that if we were able to possibly uncover, maybe we
Well-
could bring some of your people back, Lyra.
I think you're right, Lyra. Maybe we should find this pool.
I should warn you that I think we should be careful. Again, based on what we've seen, perhaps we should take some precautions before we go towards the very dark, very evil pool that forcibly turned these people into the Yuan-Ti, perhaps.
And also, Lyra, I think you should be careful about what you drink.
Yeah,
Or
no, I
eat.
saw that one too. Or eat. And then she like just stares like, good berry.
So
No.
just wanted to point out a little fun realization that I had when Lyra in snake form consumed one of the Yuan-Ti.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. That's what I was thinking of. as well.
We joked that it was cannibalism.
Oh gosh.
Well,
I
that's,
wasn't-
That's
When you didn't
I wasn't
have to
joking.
go even darker.
because
Just
Yervith has seen the druid turn into the Yuan-Ti, and then he's gone like, wait a second, didn't Lyra eat? Is this like, what is happening here? Like that's the realization he's had.
Which one of your friends did you eat, Lyra?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, probably none of my actual friends, because my
Nah, I'm
actual friends
kidding.
probably died about 600 years ago. But Lyra's thinking, actually, is if we're going, probably going back towards that moon pool, hey, guys, I have an idea. Can someone come with me and help me carry the dead body of the Yuan-Ti to where we are? I want to see what happens if we chuck it back in the pool.
What,
Sure.
what do you mean?
I
Which
haven't
pool?
haven't got to the pool yet. I think.
Do you mean the pool we were
No,
just?
no,
That
but
was
like
a
we're
well.
assuming that the scary ass pool that did all this shit to the druids is probably through these doors. Like, I mean, or statistically speaking, close by these doors of some kind. And if them going into the pool is what turned them into our Yuan-Ti, either them going into the pool again will turn them into WNT, or it'll reverse it. But because this one's dead, nothing's really gonna sort of negatively happen.
Well, that
Yeah.
seems
I mean,
fine.
yeah.
What if a prerequisite is the person needs to be alive, though?
Depends on the magic.
Maybe, well, I mean, I don't know. I'm just a guy.
With no magical ability whatsoever.
No, I'll have you know I have some good berries.
I have some damn good
Very
berries.
tasty. And I can go, what?
That's true.
He can some press magic pradada, some good berries out of his sleeve.
It's like I imagine my magic is like it's like bush magic. It's
Bush
just
magic.
Like, whoa, it's happening. This stuff's going on. I don't know how.
Oh my god.
It just does
Amazing.
things. Yeah, it's so cool. Yeah,
That's how we're all imagining it now.
I just sort of shrug and I go, well, I can go get the Yuan-Ti for you. I don't really want to go alone. I mean, there's things around in the temple, but I'm happy to go get him.
It's all right.
Maybe we'll do it
I'll
later.
come and help you if you want.
Oh, why? Thank you, Jen.
I think Lyra's just gonna hustle,
sorry.
like, she's just gonna straight up drag the Yuan-Ti by the tail if she has to.
Sure.
In the interests of expediency, you just move back towards the room, you grab the Yuan-Ti and drag it back into the room with you.
Yeah, you did, buddy.
It's not a particularly
Hey.
difficult task to do.
Yeah.
I'm dragging around a dead Yuan-Ti corpse, leaving a large trail of blood to where you are. Cool.
Do you want to like wrap it up in something so it doesn't drip everywhere?
I cauterize the wound.
Nice. Yeah, absolutely. You just
Cool.
bend down and then burn the wound closed.
Cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a weird
Yeah.
sort.
The other thought I had is that fellow that you set to making noise. Do you think there's a possibility that he could be a druid then? And maybe they're trying to change him if the water is what does it.
Could also be dragon cult. It might still be in the temple as well.
I think we need
We
to
do
find
also
out.
know that Varum is in this temple somewhere.
Yeah. Your friend is
Yeah.
in here somewhere.
That is true.
He's not-
Oh, I mean, it's a
Yeah.
big-
Are we gonna kill him, by the way, or are we just gonna talk to him?
Yeah, it's a good question. I mean, do we need him alive for any particular reason?
I think we need to get the story of his story correct, and then we decide after that, because we have someone with considerable talents who could take over his identity if it's useful to us at
Absolutely.
infiltrating the cult. If, however, he has been ostracized, then it's not very useful, is it?
I'm happy to go with the flow.
Shape water?
Yep.
It's like one day.
Hey, Porter.
What do you shape water in?
The flow.
Blood trail.
The flow.
The flow.
The
Oh,
story.
dear me.
The flow of the story.
The story.
I guess we're gonna try open this. We're gonna open this door down here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Lyra's already there. He's
Lyra's there.
Yeah.
Lyra's right there.
I was gonna say, which door, by the way? Are we gonna do these double doors, or are we gonna do this small door?
I
small.
thought the double doors, because that was towards the same way as the
Oh shit!
pool of
No.
water. Ah!
Wait.
So nothing.
We can do both.
We could split the party.
Oh,
Half
Yeah,
half.
look, you guys do what you want to
both doors
do.
at once. Oh.
I'm just here to facilitate. You tell me what you want to do, and it happens with consequences.
I will do my trick that I've been doing and just listen to what's on the other side of the door. See if I can
Yeah.
hear anything or anyone, that sort of thing. I'll do it on this small door down here.
Yeah, have a good old listen, and I think you might hear something.
Oh. Oh damn, that's a
28.
werewolf.
Oof.
You hear the sound of soft sobs coming from behind the door to the south.
Oh,
Someone crying
Aw.
softly.
oh, that's a bit sad.
Just this.
I immediately like lower my voice. I'm just like, someone's behind the door.
Already a fireball.
I'll sort of whisper. Yeah, can you hear anything?
They're crying, sobbing. I can't hear anything else other than that.
You can
That's
stage
quite
whisper
unusual.
for the podcast listeners. You can stage whisper.
Yeah.
I'll sort of say to
they're
Yervith,
crying.
that's not normal within the circumstances that we're in.
Definitely not normal.
That's unsettling.
Yes. It is not normal.
We're in a room. I'm just stating things that are obvious. That's unsettling. My name's Yervith. I've got a sword made of glass.
What is with that? Cool. Does the door open? Is it open, locked, or whatever?
It's unlocked.
Great.
I sort of go to Yervith. The mirror. You might want to use that.
Oh, yeah, no. I've got it. I sort of can I get the mirror in or around the door so I can maybe sort of see a little bit through the room?
Yeah.
Perhaps, like,
As you look through, you see another door.
oh, really?
It's a tiny chamber
It's a
leading to another door.
Oh, cool. Okay. Well, I'll just carefully open
I'm
the
assuming you
door
do the
up
exact same thing for the next door as you do it for the next door. As you do it for the next door and peek inside. I couldn't resist the troll on that one.
Is there like
as you-
several doors? Just it's like a get smart moment. Just
yeah, there's unlimited doors.
Da-da-da.
yeah.
I do like that.
Da.
Oh no, that's not normal.
As you look in, you see the following. This looks to be maybe some sort of study or library. Its dusty shelves and tables probably once were packed with scrolls and tomes, but no more. The room has been torn apart and has been ransacked. Years and years and years ago, but completely taken. Everything in here has been removed. The desk in the center has been destroyed, drawers turned upside down. It looks like someone has come through here and looted this. And hovering 2 feet off the ground in the center of the room, you see a transparent blue woman just hovering in place, knees clutched up to her chest in a semi-fetal position, just sobbing slightly. Just sobbing quietly, sorry, not sobbing slightly. She's actually sobbing, but sobbing quietly.
Okay.
As she just sort of floats around the center of the room in this ruined, completely ransacked room. And as you sort of open the door and begin looking in, she lifts her head up and looks towards and goes, "Hello?"
Hey,
Hi.
we're friends. We're not here to hurt you. We heard you crying. Are you okay? Can we help you? Are you stuck here? Can we get you out?
She sort of looks over, this sort of sad expression on her face. Again, sort of floating a little bit closer. Doesn't say anything, just looks at you. Do you say anything, Lyra? She just looks at you, not saying anything, just
Oh.
looking.
She'll just keep talking then. Lyra, I think she's actually just gonna just lay it all out. Like, she's like, yeah, like, I'm a druid. I came here searching for someone, but I ended up finding my family. They're dead now, which is a shame, but, yeah, it's got a lot to do with this ziggurat. Have you been here for, like, long?
I have been here this whole time. I served my master Diderus well. Now I serve his ruining death.
That's
As in, like, more than before the ruin?
The ruin? What is the ruin?
Don't tell her. She doesn't know she's...
Lyra,
Stage whispers, Claire. Stage whispers, Claire.
She doesn't know she's dead.
Yeah. Lyra just goes up to her and puts out like a hand, like just as in like a friendly sort of gesture towards her, and she's like, "Friend, you're like me. You're one that's been left behind by time, and the world has passed without your realize. I too am before the ruin. The ruin, turns out the world went to shit, by the way. All the gods decided to fucking have a big ass fight and ruined everything, and now, you know, look at us, like, we're people out of time. We're not supposed to be here." And I think she's and then like she's just gonna start doing mending on anything that she can in the room and slowly start trying to put it back together. Just to give this lady some semblance of comfort.
As you go to step into the room, she holds out her hand and her hair whips up into this frenzy behind her. Her skin takes on this darker red appearance, this sort of purple and red bleeding through. Her eyes sink into shadows.
Do not enter the library. Do not take my master's things.
I do not wish to take anything, but its current state seems to be causing you a great deal of distress. I can fix things, small things, and it takes a while, but I have no interest of your master's things. I wish only for answers on the black pool that turned my family into the Yuan-Ti.
No, the room is perfect. I have kept his scrolls and books for hundreds of years. I've kept them safe.
And she begins looking around as if seeing for the first time the library is destroyed. With a scream, she vanishes. Just this echoing scream, and then she disappears. How was the reverb working? Could you hear a bit of an echo on that?
That was so good.
Yeah,
That
that's
was
so
cool.
So
Fantastic.
good.
Good. She vanishes and disappears with this echoing scream.
Just announcing to the room, Lyra just out loud, straight up says, "I'm coming in to fix things. If you're gonna attack me, do it soon so I can come back to the door as fast as possible." And she takes a step in, looks for the nearest broken thing, and starts putting them back together.
As you begin, as you begin mending parts of the libraries, you've been sort of mending the bookshelves and things like that. You see a head poke out from one of the walls. This same ghostly blue head, as if no longer this like red skin. This back to this ghostly transparent blue. And as she looks, she goes,
"Ah, hello. Who are you?"
Hey, my name's Lyra. I have just come here looking for my family. I found them. Turns out they're dead. The black pool in the adjacent room turned them into giant snake people. Do you know anything about that?
I'm so sorry for your loss. I too have lost much.
you watch as she begins sort of softly weeping again, just spinning slowly in the air. Sorry, you did specifically say, do you know anything about the pools? Can you make me a persuasion check? Because she is watching you as you are mending things and trying to repair and clean up the thing. I would like a perception check, persuasion check, sorry. 17.
Whoa.
After two or three rotations, she stops suddenly in midair. Her head snaps up, looking towards you. This sort of look in her eye, as if she now sees clearly. There's these moments of lucidity, and suddenly she is there. She is concentrating and focused again.
You must be careful. The creatures that live here, they stole from the library.
And you watch as the skin begins bleeding back into red.
They took Master Diderus' things, and the curse. The curse took them.
Well, I think I have a very good idea of what happened. And then she turns to the lady and she just asks her just a direct question, and it's, do you want to be here still to guard the remains of your master's room, or is being here akin to torture for you, considering? And she just gestures to the room.
My existence is pain.
Is there a way that we can help you, that you know of? And if we're given the opportunity, would you like us to help you remove the pain?
Yes, please. I don't know of a way, but my master Diderus, his passion, his drive was divination magic. That is how he discovered the pool in the cavern. The cavern that he built this complex, this ziggurat around. The answer will surely be there. This pool allows you to peer past any protection that would block divination. You can see truth.
We will look, we will go there, but you were mentioning before that it is so incredibly dangerous. When we go there to search, is there anything that we should keep an eye out for or not do, or how can we keep ourselves safe so that we can best help you?
You watch as she floats over to one of the bookshelves and mimes as if she's picking up a book, and then she starts flipping through it and looking through this invisible book that's not there. Like this, it's just flipping through, and she's looking through, going,
Yes. As we hypothesized, the knowledge, the revelations could drive someone mad unless the questions they asked were specific. Yes, if they just asked about the physical world, yes, they could potentially avoid harm. And there's a sacrifice. Yes, some sacrifice. Yes, that will need to be made.
as if she's reading from the book. But there is no book. She's just flipping through like nothing.
Thank you. I'm gonna do my best. I'm gonna try and help you. No one should be down here alone, not for this long.
You are so kind. But price for the pool, it increased each time we used it. I wonder, how many times has it been used since I last saw it? I wonder what the cost is now.
Probably higher than we're willing to pay.
Yes. Was I the cost? No. Was I?
And with that, she begins sinking into the floor.
Okay.
She's not gonna take anything, but Lyra is just gonna do a quick once around the room and see if there's anything else that is notable and hasn't been trashed. And while she's doing it, she's gonna keep putting shit back together.
Yeah, absolutely.
As much as she can.
Yeah, the room, there's nothing left. Any scrolls or books or things like that were here, they're gone. There's nothing left. It's been stripped bare.
These doors, guys? Or back through the way we came?
Oh, no. We'll go those doors. Yep.
All right.
Might I say you dealt with that quite well. Not something you see every day. So good job.
I had help, you could say. Yeah. It may not have been Lyra doing the talking.
Oh.
Ooh, spoilers.
Do you say that?
Do you actually say that?
I think she did say that, yeah.
That was, yeah. She was, Lyra isn't exactly coy about Shana, but you guys probably would have noticed a complete change in the tone of voice, in the confidence, in in the words, and the language used somehow seems even older than the 600 years that is Lyra's current lexicon.
Oh,
Like,
I see.
It's old.
Wow.
As you guys enter the room, following Lyra, and Lyra sort of heads towards the door, Lyra emerging from the ceiling. No idea how she got into that position, but emerging from the ceiling, Ilda comes out again, this ghost lady, sort of moves towards you, appearing quite focused and lucid, more than she was before. And as she looks into your eyes, she says out loud,
I wondered if I could come with you, but I see you share with another already.
That I do. It was a very, very long time ago, in a situation that's probably not unlike your own. Is there room for one more?
I wish I could accompany you. I wish I could help ease the burden of what you will soon learn of your people. But they deserved what they got. They shouldn't have mucked around with my master's things. No one can enter.
and she disappears into one of the bookshelves again.
Okay.
Lyra's not mad at that. She's actually probably thinking, like, that's actually probably pretty fair. It looks like they're really fucked with something that they shouldn't have.
So
there's a bit to unpack here.
yeah, I don't think I've ever heard of your alter ego.
No.
Yeah, first time. There's been a couple of instances where it's been hinted.
Shana's come out once or twice.
Wow.
Little name change.
Whoa.
Admittedly, I never noticed.
That's okay. That's
Well,
okay. It was particularly with
Valerian would know, right? You could pick it up. You changes of the voice and stuff. That's kind of your thing, right?
Oh, I guess like just hearing Ellie like do the role playing, I never really noticed.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
that's true. I mean, I was saying more as a character thing, maybe not as a real PC.
Or maybe if I look back on it now and
It
think
clicks.
of
Yeah.
like,
It
all
makes-
the interactions, it might click now.
There was it was just sort of like out of character, but a little bit back when we were on the Sky Castle, Shana did
Yeah.
come out for a fair bit.
Oh, wow. Cool.
Yeah, I'm gonna step forward for a second and go, and I sort of clear my throat. Lyra,
Yeah.
you hold within your vessel another.
Yes. That's how I can speak telepathically to people. What, do you just guys think that's like a normal druid thing?
Well, I have met along my travels many a fantastical feature.
any
of
fantastic
many
beasts,
different
and I know where to find them.
You already got that character and it's copyright.
races. But yes, I just sort of chalked it up to maybe. Yeah, I never really thought about it with all honesty. Who is within you?
Oh, her name is Shana. I've known her as
Oh.
long as I've been born. I mean, it's probably a bit of a long story, but the quick version of it is I was born in a temple full of other people of my kind. Like they weren't just druids; they were everybody, and they were all they were all like me. They were too. But essentially, Shana came from a place very far away, a very, very long time ago, and her entire world was, just gone, completely gone. And, being the nature of them and who they are, they came to here, to where we are, and they form pacts with you. They ask, it's fully. They make sure you're cool with it first, but it's like having a friend that keeps an eye out for you, and she keeps me safe. And whenever anyone tries to hurt me, she comes out, and it's maybe a little bit violent sometimes, but she means well.
That
If anyone's
explains.
read the Stormlight Archive by Brandon Sanderson, It's a little bit like
I'm
spread.
not.
Okay, never mind then. Never mind. If
Maybe
anyone
other
in the
people,
chat,
though, have.
and I recommend thoroughly, everyone needs to read the Stormlight Archive by Brandon Sanderson, and then his entire work. Yes, well done, Michael. Inspiration point. It's a
Yeah,
little.
Who's got the required readings?
He's done his required readings. Yeah. Are you excited for
Nice.
the next Star site that's coming out in a couple of days? Yeah, you are. I can see you nodding. Look at you. Look at your little happy face. Yeah. No, it's if anyone in the chat's read that, you'll get the reference. If you haven't, go and read the Stormlight Archive by Brandon Sanderson. Do yourself a favor. Required reading for the rest of this stream.
To read it.
I've only read Steelheart by Brandon Sanderson.
Oh, okay. Steelheart is probably
by the man that landed the plane that was Wheel of Time.
Yeah. Steelheart is probably it's a great book. It's probably the worst of his books.
Yeah, I wasn't a huge fan, to be honest, but it was,
Okay.
it was a cool idea.
It's fine. It's not the best. Stormlight Archive is the best by far. And Mistborn's pretty good
check
too.
that out
Mistborn's an easier one to get into. Read the Mistborn series, and then that's a really good intro into the Stormlight Archive.
Yeah, all right.
So you've now got about 9 books to get yourself through, Matt. So buckle up, boy.
Easy. No worries. Look it out. It's fine.
Smash that before next session, please, and we will not dock any points from your house.
Brilliant.
Sorry, back to D&D.
Yeah, I'll sort of look at Lyra and go, is this Shana, is she dangerous at all? Like, do we have anything to worry about? Like, yeah, is she...
I mean, no dangerous than you or me or Mira or Lockie or
Hello there.
anyone, everybody. Like, you know, it's
Hello there.
Yervith.
Such a
And he
fucking
adds
Lockie
the
thing to
Yervith
do.
as well at the very end. Like,
It's okay. I'm new. I get it. It's kind of like,
you're just so quiet.
Except when he's like slitting throats or like just stabbing with a dagger.
Well, technically, he's still quiet.
True.
yeah. That is a compliment.
Yeah, Shana is no more dangerous than anyone else here in this room.
So, you said she comes back from an ancient time or something.
Yeah.
Do
They
you
were
actually know
killed by the
anything
dark. Oh, actually, I do. Oh, that's a. I wonder if the Pool of Darkness is related because they were literally killed by the darkness. Like the big bad guy is literally called the darkness.
Oh, that is. I don't know
That's-
much about magic, but that is relevant, I think.
That sounds...
Yeah.
That is a.
Oh dear.
Whoa.
Oh dear.
Are we ready for this?
And
The moment when the party realize what stakes they're in now.
Oh.
oh no.
Well,
So,
then we need to close this. We need to do something with more than just us involved here now. This is not this is timeless, it sounds like.
this is beyond world ending. If Tiamat comes out, world as we know it will end. If the darkness comes, the universe as we know it will cease to exist.
Are
Essentially.
you talking about all the planes?
I mean, that's as far as my memory is. And sorry, just a quick question.
Yeah,
It has been a very long time since I read this stuff.
that's okay.
How much of this does Lyra actually remember?
A fair bit of it.
All right, cool. So essentially, she's. But yeah, so I might have to have a talk to Shana tonight when I'm asleep, and I can, actually have a bit of a better conversation and find out some more information. But it's not good. Put it that way.
We need to
Like,
stop this.
it's probably about as bad as it gets, actually. Unless you guys all want to be Corey. I mean, we could find new planes and new universes. Option.
I have a feeling this one needs us.
I do too.
Yes.
Although I have heard the astral plane's nice this time of year.
Oh.
Just this time of year. The rest of the time, I mean, too many tourists. It's packed full of it's just can't find a decent accommodation.
technically
School
packed with
holidays. There's
stuff.
kids everywhere.
They all go want to see the stars.
Yeah, exactly right.
I feel rather attached to this plane of existence for right now.
And your body too, I'm guessing.
Yes.
Yeah. Plus, if we all die, then I won't be able to be with Shauna anymore, and that would be not really cool, so let's keep this plane.
I have a lot of questions, but I feel like we probably shouldn't have them here, just in case your friend
Yes.
comes back and
Yeah.
doesn't like us all being in her library at the one time. So I'm thinking, let's did we want to go through these double doors at the back of the library, or go back to where we were?
Let's do it, dudes.
Alrighty.
We will shelve this conversation when we're in a safe place.
Indeed. I believe that is.
I'll tell you about it tomorrow after I've had a sleep, and I can have a chat to Shauna, and I'll
And after we've
get my
saved the
facts
world.
straight.
Uh-huh.
Well, I mean, hopefully we have one more sleep before we have to save the world, right? Oh, maybe not actually.
I mean,
We open the doors.
I mean, I don't have one more sleep, but
God.
I'm gonna listen to the big double doors and see what's through them.
You
Yeah,
hear
listen to the
nothing.
door.
Hear nothing on the other
Alrighty.
side of the doors. Make a
Press
perception
against
check,
the
though, just in
doors.
case.
Oh,
But
okay.
you don't hear anything.
Yeah, sick. I'll still roll anyway.
Yeah, may as well.
Oh.
Natural 1, 10. You hear nothing.
oh no.
Seems
Oh,
fine to me. That's
Seems
fairly
fine.
so far. Press against the doors. Do they feel like they give away? Are they locked or anything?
No, they don't seem to be locked. Seem to be unlocked and ready to open.
Once again, pull out the old trusty mirror. Thank you again,
Yep.
Illyrian. And we'll push it open a bit. Use the mirror to see through into the next room. See if I can see anything or anyone or anything like that.
Yeah. Inside the room, you see a massive dais and throne, resembling a floating cloud over a golden sun. Seated on the throne is a 12-foot tall, well-muscled, regal human male with a flowing white beard and a purple toga. And as you peek around and sort of looking into the room, the door opens. The mouth opens and you hear, "Ye who seek Diderus's insight must first furnish tribute, that Diderus might work his mighty magic. Lay such tribute at my feet or depart." That is where we're going to end for tonight.
Oh, that's
Wow.
Oh man, I've been waiting for you guys to step into this room. Fuck me, yes.
I was about to just shut the door and be like, okay, we'll come back later, guys. I'll come back later, my guy.
You who seek, you just slam the door. You're like, I'll come back
Nope.
later then.
None of that. Sorry.
Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. What an awesome session! We had some really cool lore stuff come out, which I was stoked to get to see, and a little bit of an understanding into Lyra's character, which we've not had yet as well. So that's fun. Get to learn a bit more about Lyra. That is where we will have to wrap up for tonight. I wish we could go all night, but unfortunately, some of us need our beauty sleep. Some of us need lots of it, and that person's the dungeon master. So he's gonna wrap it up there. So thank you everybody for joining us. We will see you all super soon. I think what we'll do, Matt, is maybe because I had an idea about what I was going to do with your really cool sword, but during the session I had another idea. I'm gonna workshop it a bit, and I will send you through what I think on Facebook Messenger. And then next session when we come in, we'll do a little quick recap of what your sword can do. Or do you want to save it for the first time you use it, and then we get the effect naturally? So I'll tell you what it does.
Oh, that's pretty
Let's
cool.
do that.
I think
Let's do that.
That might be nice. Yeah, let's do that.
Let's do that.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So from everyone else's perspective,
Cool.
it's just a +1 sword. You don't know anything else about it. That seems to be made of some sort of stained glass and tile. But yeah, that is where we'll have to wrap up for this evening. So thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. If you're listening to the podcast or watching on YouTube, thank you so much. If you feel like you enjoyed it, please hit that like button, smash it. Just absolutely beat the shit out of that like button. If you're in... Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And if you would like to spend some channel points or come see us live and get involved, you can come in and watch us live on Twitch, twitch.tv/thelostarchives, and you can actually spend channel points to have stuff happen in the stream. So summon monsters, create NPCs, give the players advantage, disadvantage, give me advantage, disadvantage. So yeah, if you want to come join us live, we would love to have you live. 7:30ish Australian Eastern Standard Time is normally when we're logging on and getting it all up and running. But that's it from me. So thank you so much, everybody. Stay safe, stay well, and we will see you all next Wednesday. Farewell.
See everybody.
Bye.
See you guys.
See you later, everybody. Bye.